Because I'm worth it.
Yeah.
Hello. Sorry we're late.
Hi.
It's my fault.
Yeah, she didn't hit the go live button.
I didn't. This brew hates
were
when I
all
do
here.
that.
You know what? At least you didn't hit end stream
Yeah.
yet.
Not yet. Hopefully I do it at the right timing this time.
Arudai started the tabletop stream today. And he did do, we're going live in 3, 2, 1, and Mike didn't hear it. And so the first thing that the chat heard was Mike going to Arudai, everybody thinks you're gay, you know. And that was the intro to the stream. And I was like, wait, are we live?
That reminds me of the good old days where Arudai would not tell us and like say we're going live and then wait like an extra 10 seconds just to, we get out making fun of him. And then we still do it anyways.
Well, that's why Mike waits for him to start talking and then waits.
I was gonna say, to be fair, Mike probably would have done it even if he was aware that we were live.
Oh yeah, well it fit the
Or that you were
conversation. Because he was playing 5 Hearts Under One Roof, and he
Arudai
decided to kiss the guy twice. So that's where it came from. Twice.
I tried to hit on all the girls. I only got one.
But that fits your brand because you have like 5 wives, so that's not, it fits.
Yeah, my wifey's in the chat. Hi, wifey. Hello.
Hi.
We had tacos today, and that's not an innuendo, okay?
I had chicken tacos today.
All the ladies had tacos today. Not an innuendo.
Fish tacos.
No. Well, we had oh crap, I don't remember now. Something with mango.
It sounds
And
fancy.
then pork. Pork and beef tacos.
Oh, okay.
Huh?
Yeah, pork and beef I
food-
could get behind, but mango no, that
No, it
even
wasn't
sounds
in
like
there.
tacos. There's mango in there, like a mango salsa, but it wasn't like the main event.
Nor should it be.
That's
This is just
delicious.
random
No,
slop
mango
It was like,
into
ew.
a tortilla,
Mango
whatever it
pudding,
is.
mango what am I thinking of? There's the pudding, and then there's you can make cakes with mango. Especially the Asian cakes.
Just
There
because
you
you
go.
can doesn't mean you should.
Thank you.
Thank you.
I helped make the food after I got kicked out
What
of the
on earth
kitchen
is
for hovering.
bulgogi or whatever it was?
Bulgogi.
hovering.
If you ever go to Korea, you'll have to know what bulgogi is. It's like a type of beef dish.
Sounds like you're choking.
Well, you tell
Bulgogi.
that to the Koreans. I'm not Korean.
Like, sorry, can I help you?
Bulgogi.
Like someone needs to start patting you on the back.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah,
Well,
it was so yummy.
how are you guys doing? Did you take a nap, Disparu?
No, I just got done with the Section 31 video.
Oh yeah. Okay. Someone in the chat asked about it, so there you go. Question answered. Coming soon. Did you edit it or did you drop it?
I just done one. It was covering other people's reviews.
Just done
though.
it.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. So it's not out yet. All right.
Well, the video that I did today is out today.
Oh, okay. I haven't been on.
But
That's what I was asking. I haven't been on YouTube.
Yeah,
today,
it's not
so-
like my review. Well, it's partly my review, but it's largely covering the critical stuff with bits of mine in.
So is
I
there going to
just-
be another one then? Like your just full review?
It depends on the reception of that one, really. Because there's partly elements of does anyone care about Section 31, but it is pissing awful. Like
It is.
there's literally
I haven't seen We'll start with that.
there's literally a piece of it where a guy goes, actually, this guy, all he is, he's just a guy in a robotic suit. We've seen this all over the place. We saw this in The Edge of Tomorrow, 40K's full of it, and they decided that they were going to call it Mecha Dysmorphia. Because this guy thinks he is the suit.
The suit
And
is
then-
him, one and all together. It's kind of weird. I did think it was odd. A lot of the injection of different ideologies and reactions to certain lines.
Oh yeah, and Kurtzman's always done this. In Stargate Discovery, they had like pronouns and stuff. They in the one there was a transmission, as Gary always calls it, pirate that was there. They loved who was telling Spock that really it's his emotions which are his strength. You don't want to be logical and reserved and like stoic. No, be emotional.
No.
That's the theme of If you want a theme of Strange New Worlds, it's just Spock needs to unleash his emotions.
Yeah, and I also thought that was kind of weird to have a Vulcan. There's a Vulcan character, but it was a robot suit, and the first thing you see from the Vulcan is him laughing and being emotional. And I think that it seems so strange. And I guess I never watched any Kurtzman stuff. I've only watched the original series, and I'm thinking, why would you divert yourself and stick out like a sore thumb?
Well, that's the thing. I don't think people. I don't think Kurtzman realizes just how utterly bizarre that would be. Because when you're a spy, you're supposed to go through the world and not be noticed. Like you're supposed to be forgettable. No one would forget a laughing Vulcan. Like one of the reasons that Vulcans controlled their emotions is because their emotions were so strong they turned murderous, and so it was literally to preserve their species. They reined them in. You don't want an emotional Vulcan. like that means we're about to murder everybody. This is a bad time. So they would definitely point that out. But yeah, after the he had mecha dysmorphia, and he's the only white guy in the
ridiculous.
Well, he's the only white guy in the group, right? And they make him have literally. They say this guy has low IQ. That's the first thing. That's literally the way they describe him in the show. All artillery, low IQ. Tons of artillery, low IQ. So his response to being called metadysmorphic is, I don't know what that means, but I'm offended. Literally.
I don't understand it, so I'm offended by it.
Yeah. And the guy goes, look, it's a medical diagnosis. And he goes, you can't do that, you're not a doctor. It's like a Twitter conversation in the movie. It's so bizarre. And it's not the first time they do it. Well, the last time they do it.
Oh, well, I mean, it might be, depending on how well this is received. Obviously, it's not very well received. And I don't know if they can make more. I hope they don't make more, because it's not the Star Trek I know and the classy writing I know and little things. So when I watched it, I thought individually the Michelle Yeoh, as bad as the script was, she didn't do a horrible job. She didn't do a great job, but she was kind of in the middle. But that's because her costuming, like, you're putting a 60-year-old woman in platform high heels and you expect her to fight?
You know Balenciaga?
Yeah.
They did the costuming.
Not surprised.
No wonder it looked horrible.
You know what? Balenciaga used to be like, I mean, I've never owned anything like that, but I know they used to be respected and it was like a high-end brand, but now their stuff just looks like a complete joke.
It's like
I remember
I only heard about it with the drama when people found out they were putting like children references into their marketing.
Their
ads, yeah.
That was disgusting.
That had to get taken down. And it was all put in the background in like papers on the desk and stuff that you weren't supposed to see. So someone was trying to get away with something.
Secret messaging.
But no, it's the Twitter conversation. There's literally a conversation where you've got this uptight, and she's even described like that. Like, she's got a stick up her arse so far it's coming out her mouth, is the way she's described, introduced in the show. And later on, they're trying to get her to relax. And she goes, no, you need to embrace the chaos. Chaos is your friend. Open up to it. Make out with it a little bit. And she goes, chaos is my friend with benefits. Let's get messy.
And the funny part is, when I watched that line, and like, this is coming from a super normie perspective, it's not Star Trek. I understand that. If I saw that,
if I said that, it doesn't sound believable. You have to see it in the show to know it exists.
But the thing is, I like that line outside of that IP. It doesn't make sense. I don't think it matches. I think if you did like a Charlie's Angels and had that line in it, it's perfect. This movie should have been so separate from the Star Trek world. I mean, I'm not a Trekkie, but there are a lot of things that I was like, that's not right. That's not right. And that's not right. if you watch one season, you should be able to understand the physics of some of the rules that they have in this universe. And the writers did not. It's like they forgot to do their homework.
Yeah, they didn't. Well, the best description that they had for it was Guardians of the Galaxy. Like, they wanted to make a Guardians of the Galaxy film and just put the Star Trek name in it. And it's like, no, Star Trek is a thing. This is why the actor, I think it's the meta dysmorphic guy, I think it was him that came out and said, I'm scared how people will react to this because it's not like any Star Trek they've ever seen. So, well, there's only one sort of Star Trek.
Like, to make stuff that isn't Star Trek, just don't put Star Trek's name on it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's the same thing that they did with the Star Wars stuff's Acolyte. They want to use the fan base, but then they get mad when the fan base isn't on board with what you're doing. It doesn't make any sense. I'm not a Star Trek person, but it just seems they like don't do their homework because they just don't care. They're just like, hey, let's just slap this name on it and try to make some money.
As they have done with a lot of IPs, they want the audience, but they want their type of audience. And if they don't like their stuff they put in, well, you're not a fan. But then they cry when people don't go and watch these things. And it's stupid.
But the story doesn't make sense. So the motivation for the villains is they want to get this weapon which destroys a quadrant. Now, a quadrant is a quarter of the universe. Quite a big place. You know? The Voyager has to get across a quadrant, and it's literally like hundreds of years of traveling. And that's at warp speed, and it's insane. But in this, they want to get a weapon and sell it so that they can retire rich. Where are you going to retire to? You can't outrun the weapon. It's going to destroy a quadrant. You can't travel that distance in your lifetime, let alone travel somewhere and settle down. So that doesn't make any sense. And then they start by going, well, you've stolen this weapon from a mirror dimension, and the Empire that owns it are going to come through. You're like, okay, that would make sense on its own. Then they say they want to invade because they want to rule this area. Okay. Then they want to rule the area for the resources. The way they're going to do that is to detonate the bomb. But they only came over here because the bomb was stolen. They could have just sent the bomb through at any time and detonated it. And if they detonate the bomb, it'll destroy the resources and the people that they want to rule over. So everyone's motivations counteract their own motivations, but they keep stacking complexity onto it that doesn't make any sense. So even if you strip this of Star Trek, you'd just be like, I have no idea what's going on. I don't care about this stuff. And they keep killing off characters that you don't care about because they're all 2D stereotypes. They literally have a femme fatale who's bald.
How's that work? They have to be able to flip their hair. Come on, that's like the femme fatales have to be able to, you know.
It seems like because gay men are essentially doing all the makeup and costuming and stuff.
It's like drag queens.
Yeah, they project onto women what they like, essentially. And the weird thing is, so that's why all makeup's changed and everything for that. But then, because I think they realized that she wasn't a femme fatale, they gave her the magic ability to just make anyone fall in love with her. Except
for one species. I forgot the species type it was.
Which happened to be the one guy talking to her. But it's almost
I'm
as if
lost
they
on
know.
all of it, but I'm listening. Trying to keep up. It's so much, because I don't know I mean, I know you're saying this is not, you know, really how Star Trek is supposed to, but it just seems so out there.
It is. I mean, if I go over to like the Rotten Tomatoes reviews, I'll share if I can find them. There it is.
Yeah. Oh, here, I got you.
Okay, so I think the most generous you can be with this is the movie lacks depth, thoughtfulness, for which the franchise is known, struggle with pacing, often dragging down some spots, it's rushed and jumbled. That's the most complimentary review. Anyone else, I don't think you should be judging movies. It's like, well, it's well worth your time. I don't believe you. This has
spy show. The thing is, it's not really a spy show either. It's kind of, well, like a band of misfits that are just joined together and have this somewhat common goal. And oh god, at the very end, how cringe was that dialogue when they were like, Michelle Yeoh was like, oh, you can't trust me, I could kill you at any point, but that's all part of the charm, isn't it? And I'm like, this dialogue,
oh, you missed the best bit. Bad. It was the uptight Starfleet officer going, yeah, you could, you're a bad bitch. And then we're like, wait, When is that said in Star Trek?
I'm sorry, but hearing Disparu say that, I hope
No
someone's upset.
Star Trek should ever feature
Well-
anyone saying that they're a bad bitch.
I would like to point out that at that time, she has just detonated a bomb that either just dismantled a wormhole and they never explained how it could, or blew up the mirror dimension and killed literally quadrillions of people. And they're like, oh, you're so bad, aren't you? And you're like, she just wiped out billions of planets. And you're like, oh, a little bit naughty there. There's no morality in this movie. And it even said, is it possible for a movie to be evil? That is a review.
Yes.
This one is, and if Paramount has any sense of shame or decency, it will shutter the entire company and auction off its assets to the lowest bidder. 0 out of 5.
Wow. I mean, maybe not Paramount in total, but just anything to deal with Star Trek.
Anyone
really
related to the creation of this in like the plot, and like even the casting and everything else, I would just get rid of anyone that had decision-making power. Not like the run-of-the-line people, like the lighting guys aren't to blame for the movie, but anyone that had like control over the actual quality.
I just understood, sorry, but like Mike's comment threw me off because I didn't see Jay's comment. He said he was going to be sitting on Jay's lap at MegaCon, but that's why I was like, why did Mike say that? Just scrolled up and figured it out.
We'll sharing a chair.
One
we'll get
chair.
progressively
who
taller.
is on top and who's on bottom?
The chat must know. Please answer.
I
Well,
also
it
need to know.
only really matters if you like
I also
start
need to
changing
know.
height. Like if
Does it
someone
change
walks
in
past and you
height?
start going up, you're like, wait.
I thought that's because no, I'm not finishing that sentence. No.
Mike said yes. There you
I
go.
like Epic Mike, yes. Okay.
Yes.
Hey, whoever feels like being a bottom, it's fine to be a bottom.
Just bruise a little spoon.
Oh my god! And then you can finally get Epic Mike to do the hair shake that you want, the proper one.
I know, poor Mike. He's gonna
No,
be
if
like
you're gonna
sore
sit on
because
Mike's
this crew's
lap-
gonna keep making him redo it. He's gonna be like, no, wait, again.
It's
but
not
with
right,
More, yeah, not right.
If you're gonna sit on Mike's lap, you don't want him to do the hair shake. You want him to basically get the afro
The
and
booty
wrap
shake.
you in it. No, wrap you in it. Like you want to turn into like a giant ball.
So Disparu, are you gonna
Nesting.
wear a French maid outfit?
No, I'm not a rude eye.
Mike is. Mike, I think Mike might. Don't be surprised if you see Epic Mike in a French maid outfit.
God damn.
there's-
Yeah, don't you dare, Mike. This brew will go back home. He'll leave if your hair is braided. He won't.
I had to
he
get
won't
Mike
stay.
to explain to me what cornrows were. I literally, once he put him in, and I asked him, where did the hair go? And he's like, oh, it's just around the back, you can't see it. I had no idea. I'm like,
He's
how
like,
on
"Where'd it
earth did you
go?"
get all of that hair to vanish?
Where's the fluff?
It was like magic. I think it was Mike that told me as well that Ironheart had cornrows in the helmet. I'm like, this is wild. Like, you're so desperate to have cornrows in the movie, you put them on the
Whoa.
suit.
Wow.
Chat's
Okay.
getting spicy. We're not even saying anything. Chat's just doing it on their own.
I always love when boys just flirt with each other. I think it's really cute. And they're
Adorable.
playing chicken on who's going to actually stop first.
Yeah. So yeah, Section 31 is bad.
See, this
yeah.
is the Michelle Yeoh's megawatt charisma. Not in this movie. Like, it's actually really stupid because she doesn't have any like superpowers or anything. She's just like a woman that ruled an empire. But when she ruled an empire, she had like guards and stuff. She was meant to outwit all the people trying to like take over the throne and things. But in this, she's going toe to toe with robots and people in mech suits and stuff, and it's just stupid, isn't she? She's like 62 or something, I think.
Yeah. And that's why, like, they didn't do her justice. So how I'm looking at it is she did everything everywhere all at once. She's older, of course. She's not like the most muscular, but she still has the moves, quite possibly. And if you do the right camera angles and the choreography, it should look like she can fight, because she can fight if she wanted to.
She knows martial arts,
Yes.
but knowing martial arts doesn't mean that you can fight when you're a 62-year-old woman.
No, but you can still do it because, like, at least
There is no amount of camera
visually-
angles that could make that believable.
No, and the thing is, she had costuming against her. Who can fight in heels well? And then with bad angles and bad choreography, you're in an uphill battle.
I just think they need to give her an in-universe reason of why she can do it. Like, I am fine with like casting her and getting her to do it. Just say she's got super strength or something. Like, you have to give a reason.
Yeah, and the only reason we got from her is that she's ruthless because Wicked in the beginning, it probably sounds like one of the most like epic villain stories ever. Like I was actually genuinely interested when they were giving her like prologue about how she got into power as the Empress. There's like a contest. People have to like basically essentially like kill each other to win. And she found herself a Boothang. And they're like, oh, we are two, but we're one. And in the end, they also had to kill their family. Her boyfriend couldn't kill his family. And then so he had to basically follow her around because she killed her family, because obviously it's part of their duty to not have anything that could be used against them. And I'm like, that is a great origin story. I'm very interested. I just know what comes after.
Well, it fits in with the Terran Empire as well, because, like I say, that in the Terran Empire, you hold rule by just being the best. So everyone is constantly trying to overthrow you. They're constantly trying to betray you. And it's only because you outsmart them all and you beat them to the punch and you assume everyone's trying to take you over that you keep your position. And it's a bit like the Sith in that way, that if somebody actually overthrows you, they deserve that position. So becoming that leader in the first place that way kind of makes sense, as that's what you're going to face for the rest of your life. So that bit made sense.
The beginning does sound interesting, but yeah, not the rest. You lost me on
what was really poorly.
What was the robot dysmorphia? What the heck was that called?
It's just a guy in a suit, and he's like, when you talk about the suit, you talk about me, and then they really stupid. Like Section 31's becomes so boring and ugly it can no longer be seen as bad Trek. Can't even be called bad sci-fi or bad genre. It has no interest or understanding of doing any of them well. It's not Star Trek in tone, character lineup, setting. Less of a Star Trek movie. It's different, too different. Everyone is going, this isn't Trek. And Kurtzman will read all of this and go, I just don't know what a good thing is. Where's the...
I did, because the audience is wrong always, these people. They make art and cinema that's just perfect in every way, and we're not allowed to criticize it. We have to like it.
IGN's review is literally, this isn't Star Trek.
It's as simple as like, so when you get beamed up, everything on you, your clothes, your weapons, anything you're holding gets beamed with you. In the end, there's this like super mega weapon that Disbrew mentioned earlier that was supposed to destroy a quarter of the galaxy. Mm-hmm. It's in her hand, but she gets beamed up to the other ship. So shouldn't that weapon go with her? What?
Oh, there was an even worse part than that. They had a device on them that put them out of phase with reality. And so they could run through walls, like phaser blasts and stuff wouldn't hit them. And she literally runs through a wall, trips, falls over, and smashes into the floor. Which she should
have gone through the floor.
I'm like, imagine if the movie ended there. She just goes through into space and dies.
Maybe that would be better.
A-star.
If you phase while you're going through a medium like that, should you not actually like break your ankle, break your foot, whatever it is? That's
it should have cut a leg off. Yeah.
Yeah. I don't understand. And I'm not a Trekkie, but I understand from one season, not even a whole season, the basic rules of this world.
Well, the issue is as well, because some people are like, well, why does this matter? Well, it matters because you need to create a world that's believable for you to get immersed in it and believe about it in the first place.
Because if you don't follow the rules, what does this world mean to you? Nothing.
Not only does it make you not care about the world, because anything can happen, you're basically just into magic at that point, but you don't care about the people because you don't believe the world in the first place. So it reminds your brain on like a subconscious level, these are just characters. And so when they die, I didn't really care about them, like, anything can happen in this world. Maybe he'll bring her back in 5 minutes. I have no idea. So you have to make a world that obeys its own rules and takes itself seriously. Otherwise, did when that femme fatale dies, I was like, oh, I'm surprised you killed her. but I didn't care. I didn't know who she was, apart from the fact she can basically make men go to a bedroom with her. That's her only talent. That was her only personality. So,
I did not care. Most of the characters I didn't care about. Like, I guess maybe, but like Michelle Yeoh's character, I was interested in her, but as soon as we got into the later years, it didn't hit right. And I didn't even notice this, but when Gary was like, she had a perfect American accent when she was younger and somehow got an Asian accent when she was older. How is that
I didn't
possible?
notice that either until people said it on FNT.
I thought that was so funny. Hey, I'm sure you can develop accents. When I hang out around Southern people or British people, I tend to adopt that accent. Not on purpose. It's a very heavy accent and you get influenced by it. But
After MegaCon, X-Ray is going to be talking like this, Peru.
well, it's funny.
Surely it'll be more like Orlando.
Now, yeah. So I'm starting to say things with a little Southern twang sometimes. So if I spend a long enough time, I will probably speak with a bit of an accent.
She's gonna have a mix. Let me get a couple of these super chats. I'm gonna jump on the memberships first. Sneaky Singy gifted 5, Mongoose gifted 1, and Emilio gifted 10. Guys, thank you.
Push him off a cliff again. Yep.
Thank you.
Oh my God. Queen.
Yes. You haven't played that one in a while. I feel like. I don't know. Maybe not.
Probably a week.
Probably. And hold on. Okay, no, did some of them get some of the super chats are gone. They were starred. There was 3 when we first started. I'll go back and get those guys. Sorry, 1 second. Maid, thank you for the 5. Disparate Uru, section 31 review 1. I love the way you go scene by scene. Can't wait.
Yes, like there's part of a review up at the moment. Also going through other people's reviews. But I include like some points in it and stuff. The scene by scene, I don't know, it is a 90-minute movie, so it'd take a while even if I did. It's more about like if there's a desire for it, I guess. But
hold on, let me go up. They were starred before we started, but then they went away. Nope, I don't see them now.
Just go to Studio in the back end and find them there. That's the only place you can find them then.
Okay.
If you want, I can read some while you're doing that.
Yeah, can you do that? Thank you.
I do want to do a review simply because I think it'll be fun. Just because of how disastrous the movie is. And I really I didn't think it was going to be a comedy. And there's something really incredible about a terrible show that's also trying to be fun. I don't know why I like that kind of stuff, but I do.
Well, it's like watching a car crash car crash happen. You just can't take your eyes away from it and just keep watching it. And you know,
well, I found it's the comedy part. Like, you can have bad TV, but when it's bad TV trying to make people laugh, I don't know. Because it almost comes across as if like they're a parody of themselves. Like, if you wanted to make a sci-fi parody, you might put in something like mecha dysmorphia into it, trying to make it as a joke. But there's something golden about them trying to be funny, using their ideology, but also trying to use it as like a life lesson, being serious.
Do you think it's the step of they accidentally found themselves being laughed at because of what they were trying to do? Because it's almost in the parody version, but they weren't trying to make it parody. They were actually being serious.
Yeah, I think it's something to do with the fact that you're both looking at the same thing from opposite perspectives and agreeing. So they're like, we think this is really good. I'm like, I think this is really good, because we would both say the same thing with entirely different intentions. I think that's what it is.
I found
Absolutely. Okay,
so
good.
Corey for 5, what does a robot do after a one-night stand? Nuts and bolts.
You said poor choices, Corey. Stop recycling. Actually, recycle.
No, he told me he was going to recycle one this week.
He's like, this brew must hear that one.
What did I hear earlier? It was like, if you call a woman beautiful, she won't remember. If you call her fat, she'll remember it for the rest of her life. That's because elephants never forget.
Okay.
Wow.
Sorry, did you said that while I was trying to process something else? I think that was all. I think that was it. I think It was just that
There was an
one.
Erudai stream where Chrysanth hates puns, so I was spamming puns the entire.
Oh, I love puns.
Yeah, well, there was. I did something like I've spent all weekend looking for the sun and couldn't find it, but then it dawned. Oh no, she said, when are you going to bed? It's like I'm staying up to look for the sun. I can't find it. But then it dawned on me, and I'm like,
oh my god. Oh, that's a good one. I'm gonna say a very dark joke. So be prepared.
Did I
What's
go
my
now?
favorite.
worse than ants in your pants?
What?
Your uncle.
Oh, that's dark. Just Rue like that one.
no, there's loads of Jimmy Carr jokes like that. It was always like, oh no, was it this one Jimmy Carr? I think Jimmy. No, it was Ricky Gervais. I think I'd won.
Oh,
Where
of
he's like,
course he did.
my uncle used to do magic tricks. He'd put this napkin on his lap and make me rub it, and then a rabbit would appear.
Oh my god.
It says, unfortunately, once I did it too much, and it was sick.
god.
Oh no.
Oh god. Oh, that's bad.
Okay. Yeah, the other ones are on here. There's a lot of
I know
Mazas,
so
I'm
many dark
sorry.
jokes that I can't say.
I believe you.
It used to be like all comedy used to be this, and then suddenly it's like, oh, you can't do that anymore.
Oh, because it's the era of being offensive, and people are allowed to complain about it, and we've given too much power in that sense on other people's feelings. When a joke isn't at least malicious, it's supposed to entertain.
I think it's a combination of two things. There's definitely the feelings part of it, like feelings over like logic and, well, it's not real. But I think the reason that came about is because the same people that think feelings are important are the same people that can't like conceptualize, they can't abstract, they can't think of something in the ideal. So they think that if you say anything, you mean it seriously, because they can't imagine you thinking of a world which is something else, like saying something you don't mean is beyond them, because everything they do is their own life. They're on a two-dimensional plane. They literally can't understand anything else.
That's the wild part, because intentionality is really important, because if I say something that accidentally offends you, obviously I'm still going to feel a little bad about it. But like if we have a conversation where we talk about it and you understand where I'm coming from and I understand where you're coming from, we come to agreement, great. Happy days. But if you can't even have that and you immediately go, you're the worst person ever.
Well, their problem is that they can't understand somebody else with a different perspective or a different viewpoint. They can't imagine a different person to themselves. They've only got themselves. But this is why they always project, because they only have their own perspective to go off. And so if they like something for a reason, they think you don't like it for that same reason. So if they like something because it's diverse, they assume you don't like it because it's diverse. They can't imagine a different perspective in the world. And the more you go around the internet and talk to people, because it's difficult to even wrap your head around the fact that people like this could exist. But if you think about it, and just as you're going through life, you meet so many people. And once you see it, you can't unsee it. You're like, oh, you're one of them. It's like all the time.
The crazy part is the people who have, we'll call it very short feelings, very small amount of feelings, and they get offended easily. They're probably people who haven't traveled, because if you have seen some of the stuff that other people have experienced, done, and live, I don't think you'll necessarily have these perspectives.
Well, that's why people that live on the internet usually get offended easily, because they just stay at home on the computer all day and they haven't gone out and actually experienced life. So that's a very good point.
I think, because you always get the stat of like Americans with no passports. And I completely understand why. I think Ryan said it once, and he said it as a joke, but it is true. That America's just so big, it's got so many locations, you don't really need to leave the country, because you've got so many different states that are so varied. You're like, well, I can just go on holiday to a different state, like be with different people. It's like, yes, but if you leave that, other nations are like so much more different. And so I don't think a lot of Americans like realize how different other cultures are. And that leads them to be, especially in places like California, extremely naive about other countries, other nations, other peoples. And like they don't understand, they have entirely different realities than you do. And they just don't see the world as you do at all. And so this is how you get, no, we're all equal and we're all the same. It's like, meet people. You will quickly realize that's not true.
Very true.
Also, the internet is the argument of definitions.
Yeah.
I think that's a very leftist kind of tactic.
No. I don't mean that it's like a tactic. Like you can say we're all equal, and then what that phrase is means something different to some other people. So then you have arguments of, well, that's not what I said. Blah, blah, blah.
Yeah, but that's the point. The point is they don't want to talk about the thing because they know they'd lose the argument. So they want to debate around the definitions. You just step over them. You just ignore them. Words have a meaning. It's a factual meaning. It's objective. This is what one of the issues with not being able to understand another perspective is they can't understand reality exists. They only see the world through them and their perspective, which is why they think their perception can change the reality. It can't. Words have an objective meaning, and you're either right or wrong. And so there's no point discussing things. You just call them an idiot, you insult them, and then ignore their perspective. Like you actually talk with people that can understand what you're talking about.
I see your point, and I think they're also maybe it's especially between different countries, different phrases mean different things to people. Like, for example, fanny. Fanny in the UK means your front girl parts. Fanny in America's is your booty. So
one of the terms we would have for that is a front bottom.
Same thing with poof.
Really?
It's a totally different meaning over here than it does over there. Every time you say poof,
Your front bum would be
your front bum.
that would be kind of like polite slang.
So I don't know. That's just an example, but yeah.
Yeah, any translation thing, yeah, especially when you're communicating, even if the other person speaks English, think when you're used to a different language shapes how you think, and so even that is complicated. It's just like front bum, fanny. It's like, wait,
Am I in the right stream?
Like-
Of course I am.
you can imagine like when we hear like fanny pack, because we don't have that as a term. But if you described somebody just on the street as a fanny packer, you'd be like, wait. You'd kind of put
Does
two
that
and
mean,
two
like, you
together
put
and
a
end
lot
up
of
with
stuff in
something
there?
really.
In the UK?
Well, I mean, like. It
I had
just,
like a
you would
yawn
put
and
two and
then-
two
and then
together and end up on a very
A
different
shock
conclusion.
in the same moment. Oh my gosh. Okay, well, I'm gonna grab a couple more super chats on that note.
Wicked's like, I haven't drunk enough for this conversation.
I'm not, no. May, thank you for the 5. Hey, Wicked, is it too late to jump on the Bills playoff bandwagon? No, we welcome you. Come on over.
Bandwagoners.
We do not want the Chiefs to everybody, even people who don't like the Bills. Normally, I have friends that are not Bills fans, but on Sunday, they're rooting for the Bills because people are tired of the Chiefs. So come on over. We welcome you. We're a nice bunch over here.
So weird to me how you discuss sports teams in like secondary names.
It's my team. I own them. They're my boys. Yeah.
Well, no,
that's
I
how
mean
it
like
sort of looks.
we would have like Liverpool and Manchester, so everything's named after a place. But you have like a place that you could name, and then there's a secondary name of an animal. You have to remember both.
Oh yeah, there's a lot because it's not even state like right, like New York State alone, they have more than one football team because the Bills are Buffalo, New York, and then you got the Giants and the
Oh.
Jets. Yeah, it's because some of the states are really big. So that's why. But yes. Oh, Kara's allowed to be friends with Wicked if the Bills win. Okay. Oh yeah, Jeremy. He said, he's gonna take Kara away from me, and I'm gonna fight it. Just so you know, not allowed to go anywhere. What is wrong?
I was sitting here thinking, how are you going to be friends with a musical? And then I just realized, oh no, she actually means you. I was so into like Entertainment Zone, I didn't even think of your name being Wicked.
Oh, I know. I don't exist anymore ever since the movie came out. People are like, who?
The
What?
moment people talk about Wicked, it's like your secondary Wicked.
I'm not
now.
even. I'm not here. It's our favorite health minister, the health minister of Belgium. Hey, she was like,
Got
for
all the seed
5.
oils.
I hope everyone is enjoying a relaxing cocktail like me tonight. A seed oil martini, shaken, not stirred. Can you say that in the Sean Connery voice? Just for real?
Shaken, not stirred. I hope everyone's enjoying a relaxing cocktail like me tonight. A seed oil martini, shaken, not stirred. I don't know.
I love
I'm not Scott. I need to watch a video of him speaking.
You
Hang
did
on.
fine. I just wanted you to do the shaken, not stirred, but it was a bonus that you
Shaken,
decided to read the
not
whole.
I need a Sean
Thank you.
Connery Bond to do any accent. I need to hear the accent.
Yeah. See. Okay. So Jeremy allows me to be friends with Kara this Sunday. Thank you. Thank you.
I don't get football. Sorry.
It's okay.
Not
Just
sorry.
say go team. There you go.
Go Blue Jays. I could get murdered.
Carlos Lima for 2, your son. Hello to the most based trio on YouTube. What does LGS mean?
Let's
Legs,
get sexy.
Giats.
Let's go saucy.
Yeah,
Probably.
probably.
I was
We're
still
gonna go
thinking of
with
like
that.
legs, Giats.
Lisa.
I was trying to be down with the kids.
in there.
Yep, you got in trouble.
Legions.
I'm gonna get kicked out right now, so I'm literally
gonna
gonna
see
get
your-
thrown in the
I was
forest.
gonna- you're gonna get bounced out of the
Ice are
house
on the
right
way.
now.
Like,
Kicked out of the
unlike
club.
previously, ICE will actually sanction you for that kind of thing now. The military are coming.
Oopsies. It's okay. I got told. I got a face.
You
when
just
I
see like people swinging in through the window.
during a stream today. Kara looked at me after I said, "I've never seen Jaws. Can we watch Jaws?" She's like, "What?"
You've never seen Jaws?
No,
Ugh,
I want it though.
you gotta watch it. All of them. Every single Jaws movie.
I cannot wait. I cannot wait.
I just got a Jaws shirt. I don't have it here. I moved it, but I got a tank top from Universal. That's a Jaws tank top. I like it. Anyways, sorry, girly.
feel like a
This
Jaws
room's gonna
tank
be
top-
like, don't even start. This room's gonna get mad if
Well,
me
no,
actually
like a
start talking
Jaws
about
tank top
clothes.
should be like there, and it should be like be jagged all the way down, like you've got bitten. That's the only reason. Like that's
Why
what a
don't you
Jaws
just-
tank top
okay,
should be.
You should start
You should
designing
make a
clothes.
merch store.
Yeah.
No, I can have the odd idea for clothes. I clearly not gonna have enough.
He's
And
like,
none of my
don't-
clothes would be based off the idea of what looks good. It would be what fits with the IP. What you need is like somebody that's into the kind of stuff to work with a fashion designer and go, I have this idea, and they make it look good. Too much
Yeah.
effort for Disney though. They just want a tank top that they can put just Jaws. That'll do. That'll be 50 quid, please.
Do you sound like Disney when they sell merch?
Well, I'm the kind of
This
guy
backpack
that
costs $10 to make in Vietnam, but we're gonna sell it for $100.
I want fat people's clothes to cost more than mine. That's what I want. I've always thought this.
I'm behind that. It's more
Yes.
fabric.
Yeah, exactly.
Asia, they do that. They charge more for more fabric, which makes sense
Based.
to me.
Yes.
Makes
Now, I
sense to
have
me.
heard the counter argument that the fabric is actually the lesser cost compared to the labor, which is why it doesn't make any sense. And I'm like, yeah, but leather jackets. Like, there are some
Leather
things
jackets
where
are
the
made
fabric
differently,
is
though.
expensive. Yeah, but some material is really expensive. So, like, cotton is cheap. Synthetic stuff is cheap. So you can understand where the labor costing more with that. But leather jackets, definitely the material costs more.
Definitely,
Totally.
it's the material, all of that. If it's made like how my parents, we had like worked in a bit of a clothing shop where you're making mass production of all these different sizes of the same thing. It's all done in one place. It's not that difficult in a sense to make it a different size. Sure, the labor is a little more, but it's like half a second more extra on different parts of the shirt. But I don't know.
Would that make sense though? Because that's why they're like, well, everything costs the same because it's
It's all
basically
made
the
in
same
one
amount of
place.
labor for. Yeah.
Yeah. But leather jackets are different though. I
Well,
don't think they
that's the thing,
can necessarily do it the same.
There are some things. Like, I always liked did you ever see that video where they were like, I think it was the woman like, she got really annoyed. She called it like the pink, the pink charge or something. And she was like, well, my shampoo costs more than men's shampoo, and my shirt costs more to launder than a man's shirt. And every time she said it, it was like, well, your shampoo is like made from coffee beans, which only come out of like a bamboo's arse once a year in the middle of the rainforest. Whereas men's is just whatever synthetic junk they can get off the trash
There
heap
is.
that they
I was
wash
just
their
gonna say
face with.
this. There is.
The pink tax, yeah. But they did shirts as well. And it turns out women's shirts need to be like ironed by hand because they're all so different. Whereas men's shirts just go on a machine and they just get steamed.
I don't know.
She's like, I'm
Never
just-
worked retail.
No.
It was always interesting. It was like many years ago, but there was a whole stage of it. My favorite is the AC gap. Because women prefer to be warmer than men. And so in offices, when they were sharing offices, the AC is set for male temperatures. because they're in suits and they prefer it colder.
Fair point that Jeremy makes. Men use bars. They use the same soap
Men
for
use a
everything.
14-in-1 soap.
Yeah, 14-in-1.
You can do laundry with men's soap.
There's always a meme. Do you dry your face with the same towel you dry your balls with? It's like, well, you know, what else are you gonna do it with?
I don't know. I don't have balls.
But would you?
No. I mean, I don't know. Guys think
You
differently.
wake,
I have
you wake
a
up one
separate
day, you're
towel
like,
for
well,
my
that's
hair.
weird.
I use a separate towel for my hair and body. But girls, we
See,
just think
that's
differently.
weird in itself. No guy does that. They're like, oh, I've got a special hair towel.
I have a lot of hair though. I need to put it up. The turban.
Yeah, but what guys would do is they would just dry themselves with a towel, then use it on their hair.
Yeah.
Well, it's fine because girls are very specific. My face, for example, face creams. I can't use my body cream on my face because I actually will
Same.
get rashy.
Yep.
Because the ingredients are really bad for my face. And how I rationalize.
I need to analyze that logic, right? The face creams you use would be bad for the skin on your face.
No. The
body cream. My body cream.
Okay, yeah, fair. Yeah, whatever. The body creams you use would be bad for the skin on your face, and you don't think it would be bad for the skin on your body.
No, because faces have pores and they're more and
your entire body has pores.
I'll explain it. So your skin on your face is the thinnest, especially under the eyes. Whereas if you look at how thick your skin is on even your body, if you pinch it, it is like half a centimeter. You pinch it and it's like it's paper thin. So the absorption rate of your skin to ingredients is more detrimental if the ingredients are not for sensitive skin. And then on top of that, what your creams you use for your body, I find they sit and they penetrate worse off than your face creams. You want
there's nothing like bad penetration. That's horrific.
You want great penetration. I'm just saying for your skin,
obviously, and for everywhere else. I always find it weird because there's a line of thinking. My line of thinking would be: we've evolved for literally millennia. And at no point during those entire millions of years where our skin evolved just to exist, did they go, we're going to rely on boots or like a pharmacy or whatever you have over there. Like, your body doesn't need the random crap that you put. It didn't evolve to need it. At no point in the entire history of the world has an ape gone into a pharmacy. So I'm a bit why do you think your body needs it in the first place?
But back in the day, we didn't have things like heat and housing like we do now because
we definitely
at least in Canada and maybe like Northern Americas, your skin gets super dehydrated because the humidity that you have.
That's the kind of dark joke I can't say.
Okay. Well, anyways.
Okay.
The humidity that you have in colder temperatures means there's lower moisture in the air when it gets warmer. So then that's why you get dehydrated. And so these are first world problems that we never really encountered back in.
We didn't evolve for this environment. That would make sense. Although,
yes,
isn't the whole Asian thing about rice fields and everything because it's so moist everywhere? I really shouldn't use the word moist, but I couldn't think of another word fast enough. Humid. Humid would have been a better word.
Yeah, moist. People actually legitimately get so creeped out by people saying moist. Anyone in chat just be like,
No, it's worse.
Somebody cringed for sure.
There are definitely different ways of saying the word moist. You could just word the word moist, but whenever anyone's like, they're like,
moist.
No.
You sound like a goblin or something.
Moist. It's like there are ways. There are ways of saying it. You're like, oh.
Sorry.
he saved the stream. Yeah, Chad likes it.
This is like what happens if Gollum said moist. That's what that was. Or Jar Jar Binks. I'm not even sure. That could have been like Misa like moist.
Misa moist.
Oh my gosh.
Misa moist.
He did enter a lot of rainforests and kind of humid environments.
We
I
have
One of my favorite things about this stream is it's just me and X-Ray talking, and you just watch Wicked and her horrified face.
Love you, Wicked.
It's almost like a game. It's like, how far can we push it before she goes off
Wait,
camera?
who won? She didn't go off cam, but was it you or me?
I don't know. I was joking when you were like, "Okay, I'm gonna say a dark joke," and I was like, "Oh, okay." I was like, "I'll go
Yeah.
now."
But there are times where you just vanish, and it's like that's
Honestly,
when you know you've made a good joke. It's when Wicked goes off camera. It's like I can't even be seen to laugh at this. I have like standards to keep. I have a
Also,
reputation, you know.
Mark, we missed your super chat. You super chat right before we ended last week. Sorry. So I'll read it now. Hold on.
Do you have it?
Yeah, I took a picture of it. It was you were talking to old Renaissance boomer, and you said, "Please let her know that I can help fix her." I don't know what you were talking about, but thank you for the 5. Sorry that we missed it when we were ending, Mark.
Because they were talking about something in chat. I
Yeah.
just couldn't follow.
Couldn't follow. I don't remember, but thank you, Mark. And sorry we missed it.
I don't know what that chat was about, but it reminded me of like the Little Britain sketch of like the 55-year-old that still suckles on his mum, and he's like, "Ooh, Betty." That's the only thing. That's where my brain went with that comment.
So we have 4 Mazas that have super chatted so far tonight. So we have I don't know what that's.
He's desperately in search of his shoes. That's why.
Yeah, the Mazaverse. We've been sucked in. DI officer of the Goon Maza for $5 super sticker. Thank you. Michelle Maza. Stop it.
Yeah, this is what I mean. Does that mean there's different versions of Maza, and he's got like the whole diverse range of the world of Mazas? I'm assuming yes.
Can you imagine a panel of Mazas like judging you?
Oi.
I would enjoy
They
that.
just all call you a dog, though. That's the problem.
You stinky
like,
dog.
They would look diverse, but they'd all have the same opinion.
And they all would want to make this brew proud.
Hive mind of Mazas.
Well, they all want to fight you behind the back of Woolies.
That sounds dirty.
It does. What is
Woolworths?
Is
Did
that
you
a
not
store?
have Woolworths over there?
No, of course not. Why would we have that? I'd never heard of it.
Well, it's your loss.
Council of Mazas. Yes, Ron.
Exactly. Yes.
Never had a good pick and mix in your life.
Michelle O. Maza for $1.99. My soul pole is bigger than my Epic Mike's.
I wouldn't be surprised.
You mean South Pole?
No.
What's a soul pole?
I don't know, but I think I can figure it out.
We have a visitor.
Can we? Okay.
Hi. And she's drinking. Hi.
At some point, Kara, you're going to have to explain to X-Ray the Michelle Obama Big Mike conversation.
She doesn't get the super chat.
Because
that's soul pole.
Yeah,
Reach
yes, there you go. Oh, we saw the penny drop live.
She just
this
needed,
is why you really like to Epic Mike.
She just needed Kara's aura to come in and help her figure it out.
And then she made me think what a soul pole is. I'm gonna show you that pole.
We saw like IQ transfer wirelessly.
I mean, my wife. That's why.
Yeah.
But guys, take a shot every time Disparu says literally. You're gonna be smashed tonight.
Yeah, literally.
I saw Jeremy say in chat, literally drink, and I was like, wait a minute, is he saying what I think he's saying? I'm gonna die.
Well, it's because it's people have filler words, and you learn to not do them, especially in videos, because you see them all the time, so you have to edit them out. So you stop going things like
yeah, that's
but
true.
mine has always been like, and
That's
it
a
annoys me in
common one.
other people. But I find it useful because if you want to say somebody is doing something, being somebody is like, I think is like good grammar. But you end up saying a bit too much.
Oh, are you trying to make room for me?
Was he just X-Ray getting dragged further and further away?
No. I'm sharing the chair with her now.
Oh, because you were like this, and it looked like you were being dragged sideways.
I just didn't want to pull her headphone out of her ear.
Yeah. Thanks for the $2, Mark. He says, hi, Kara.
Okay, you have to
teach me your
Focusing.
ways.
Do we need to be trained how to put in a headphone now? Is that
It's
what's
not
happening?
a normal
If
headphone.
not,
It's like a Shure. It sits weird in your ear, but it
It like
Really good.
hooks over the top and it kind of goes in.
Oh,
a
one like the
bit. That's what she
jogging
said.
ones. Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm not-
Wicked, you
How
need
big
to
is
talk
it if
more
it can
on your
hook
own
over the
show.
top?
I know. I just let them like take over, and
Don't let
I read
Disper-
chat.
Maybe we should mute
Yeah.
Disper. No, I'm kidding.
I'm just trying to get Wicked to go off
Disper and
camera. That's
me.
my aim.
Yeah, if you guys
That
did like a
is.
$10 super chat says mute us two to let Wicked talk, I think we should do it.
Do it,
To be
chat.
like, hey guys, my show now.
She does have the power in the stream to just mute us whenever she wants.
Yeah.
So,
Abuse the power.
like
like
there was
what?
FNT once where I just got like muted. And people were like, you're muted. So I tried to unmute myself. And
Who
I must have
muted
clicked it
you?
like 20 times. I was going to war with somebody else in the stream who was also trying to unmute me. And we just kept remuting me all the time. It was either Quarter Black or Gary or both of them. I still
Well,
don't know what
that's
happened.
probably a sign.
Well,
Somebody just didn't want to tell you to shut the fuck up. So
no, they
you
told me
try
to start
subtly
talking.
do
That was the
it.
thing.
I
I
blame
started
Garrett.
muted and they told me to unmute. And then I went to war. It was
Blame
like,
the diversity always, okay?
well, it's difficult
It's
not
true.
to. Every person he
Like, it wasn't
employs,
me. Yeah.
he's got more like if you totted up the percentages, he's got more diverse people than Disney. Like Disney can't complain about anything with him. Like what is it? Like 75% of his organization.
Yeah.
Did you see
Yeah.
that, Wicked?
Oh, looks like I got to mute. Wait, who? Just
Both
Brew?
of us.
Both.
I did just Brew first. See if you would say
So-
anything.
I'm scared.
She's like, "Can you actually do this?"
what do I do?
Thank you for the 20.
Even
Here.
just for that's it.
It's got.
I
mean,
can overrule it though. If you're not going to mute
Hey.
both of us, I'm just going to start talking. I play FPS games that I can easily counter your reaction speed. If we go to war, I will definitely win, unless you do something that stops me.
I don't think I can.
I will more than make the trade if muting me mutes two women. That's better for. That is better for the universe overall.
Fun.
He's like, I'm not gonna. I will just keep unmuting.
I mean,
if you
look,
mute
combined
me.
between the pictures of us, we probably have the same IQ.
You say that. You're a little talk though.
Well, obviously. I mean, how else am I supposed to communicate?
Nonverbal cues. Got it.
Gotta learn sign
That's it.
language.
What am I supposed? I'm supposed to just twerk all the time.
Wicked, you're killing me.
Keep it up.
That's
Keep
what she
this up,
said.
chat.
That's what she said.
If he goes in like he's gonna go in like a monologue, I'm gonna mute him halfway through, and he's gonna be looking at his drink and not even know, and just be
That was the
going
thing. I used my right hand to like gesticulate as normal. That was the problem then.
Gesticulate. Dang.
You're not supposed to do
Oh.
that on camera.
That's the best part of it. How else are you going to get the viewers in?
noble sacrifice.
By taking you off the screen.
Oh my god.
Well, look, we all agree that that would be an advantage, but you know, it's like I could. That would be better if she actually hid my camera. The viewers would definitely go up. I'm
Just
not even
replace
going to
me
disagree
with
about that.
Like, just replace Disper with me, and everybody would be happy.
They probably would, although then the conversation happens and people get disappointed.
I don't think you can turn someone's camera off on here though. Can you?
I don't
just
think you
see-
can. You can just take them off the stream, but then you can't hear them, unfortunately.
Oh, okay. Got it. All right. Well, let's get a couple of super chats because Barack Maza has been waiting since
$100
$7:15.
He's really disappointed at the moment.
I'm bothered
Gesticulated.
by how well Maza's face actually fits on Barack Obama's face. It fits, like, for some reason. But he says, let me be clear. I'm not having an affair with Jennifer Aniston. Her love of shoes just would never fit me.
Well, that was in FNT.
Yeah, there's a
Is that a
rumor going
genuine
around.
thing?
That's a rumor going around that Barack Obama was having an affair with Jennifer Aniston, and there was like a leak, like some
He
leak,
can-
a DM leak
I
or
think
something.
X-Ray's going for a leak.
Yeah, he's gonna go for a leak.
Obama
So-
can do better, though. That's the problem with that.
Well,
Like,
I don't know.
20 years ago, whenever she was in...
he's no Ross.
She was the one in Friends. Yeah.
We
Well,
were
I
just
mean-
watching Ross right before Saucy.
Really?
Or we were watching Friends.
The Ross show. No, I don't
Ross
believe
is
it.
a little bitch show.
He is. He's such a crybaby.
He is.
Yeah.
I don't know
Have
which
you
one
ever-
Ross is.
Have you ever watched Friends, Disparu?
I've seen it. I don't know the characters' names off by heart. I know
David
the people.
Schwimmer.
Yeah, he's the one that's
Okay,
like,
I do know that
"Hi."
one.
He's always
Yeah,
depressed.
He was the
"Hi."
weak bitch. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. Oh, because of Michelle Obama. Sorry.
Oh, it's Chandler that got with Rachel.
No.
Oh
Ross
no,
got
he
with
got with
Rachel.
Monica.
Chandler got with Monica.
Who got with Rachel?
Ross.
Ross. Joey wanted to,
Oh.
but it wasn't
Who
reciprocated.
thought that was a good idea? Rachel was way more attractive than Monica.
Yeah, I guess. I
Ross
thought
should
they
have got
both
with
were
Phoebe
pretty.
because she was a lunatic. Like, she was deranged enough that she could have put up with Ross.
She was deranged enough. Yeah, maybe. But
No,
he was
Phoebe
too much
was
of a...
100. Phoebe
I
had
know, but she
bodies under
was-
her floorboards.
He got them on a Friends.
You were talking about Friends because of the rumor that Barack Obama hooked up or is having an affair with Jennifer Aniston.
I like the theory that we had on FNT where it's just the cover up that he has another boo thing.
It's
That's a
someone
man.
else, so they're just...
That's weird.
Maybe.
Because Michelle Obama wasn't enough. I'm joking. I have no idea.
No, but that is the thing. Like, if he did want to go for somebody like Rachel, he could get someone way better than Rachel. Like, an ex-president could have his pick.
Yeah.
He doesn't need to go for Jennifer Aniston.
I don't think Jennifer would go for him though. Not from her dating.
I mean,
pool she's
probably
shown.
not, but he could still do better. Like, she's just rich in her own right, so she wouldn't need to go for him. But there are loads of like 20-year-olds that would go for an ex-president.
You're right.
I'm gonna let
True.
you guys get back to your show. I'm gonna go play Marvel Rivals.
She's like, I'm itching to
Honey
play.
boo.
Kind of jealous.
Have fun.
Like, people are on about the
Like, I'm
Guna
out.
skins for Marvel Rivals. I buy the Guna skins, then I play Moon Knight. Which is like,
And then play Moon Knight.
yeah.
Redneck Gooner Maza. See, there's more. There's a couple of them for 5. I'm telling you, I got proof. Maza and Mike went to Maza's farm for their honeymoon to take care of the dogs Mike kidnapped. If you know, you know. What? I don't.
I got proof Maza and Mike went to Maza's for their honeymoon.
Isn't the
I have a
farm
feeling.
where
I have
you
a feeling that
take your
Mike
dog?
would utterly destroy Maza in that scenario.
like his butthole?
Well, Mike has like 5 kids or something. Like
Oh, that
Maza
Mike.
is not.
I thought it meant Big Mike.
No, Epic Mike is what they're talking about. Like Maza is not prepared like for that scenario.
He's not prepared. No. Okay, I get it. Thank you for the 5, Redneck Gooner Maza. Justin Martin's for 5. Are we staying on topic tonight? What's going on here? This doesn't feel right. Well, we went
We
off
w- we
topic,
were.
so does it feel?
That,
We
that
were.
is typical
That
to be
ship
off
has
topic.
sailed. Yeah, the ship has sailed. I think you
I
said
even
this when
set
we were
up the next
talking about-
topic, and Wiki was like, "No, we need to do something else."
we were talking when we were talking about section 31. I think is when he sent this. So don't worry, we got off topic pretty fast. So we're back on track with Saucy. Cajun Corey, thank you for the 5. I got a pet termite. I named him Clint. Clint eats wood.
That's actually really good. that is actually really. I do like the pets' names when the pets' names are memes.
Tyrannus Cygnus. Cygnus? Did I say Cygnus? I added
Cygnus.
extra.
Cygnus,
I
yeah.
added extra in there. Okay, for 5. Thank you. What is the only meat a priest eats on Friday? None. I've heard. I think Disparu said that joke before.
I
On
don't think
stream.
so. I've not said that.
I feel like he might have, or maybe it was.
No.
I don't know. I've heard it before.
Someone around him, maybe?
Maybe, yeah. Jason Webster, thanks for the Australian 5.
This is because when everyone is like, "Oh, say a pun," people just Google best puns, and then they all read from
They
the
get
same
ones
website.
like-
That's the problem.
Hi to
When
the
you
Squid-
Google, you need to be more unique, so you get
Yeah.
different websites than everyone else.
You gotta be more detailed in your
Mhm.
question. Yeah. Hi to the splendidly vivacious X-ray girl, perfectly perceptive wicked virtue, and the human Gatling gun of rapid fire wit, Disparu. What are you
There was
laughing
some-
at?
There was someone in tabletop in the chat where someone was like, "It's great because your voices all sound weird because I'm used to listening to them at 2 times speed, and I know that because I watch
Oh.
everybody at 2 times speed.
Mhm.
So, it's a Gundam on his live stream. Obviously, his music plays at normal speed. I've never heard it at that speed before because I always watch his videos at 2x. I watch everybody's videos at 2x. So I'm like, oh, that's weird. but somebody was saying they're not used to watching tabletop at normal speed, and then someone said, except Disparu, listening to him at 2x speed is like listening to other people at 3.
Oh, you talk fast.
You already
Yeah,
have one
I
level
wasn't that
faster
aware.
than everyone.
I will say this, and if I am trying to catch up on tabletop just to see where my character is, I always listen on 2 times because especially when we're going through roles and like processes, like it just takes so long to get through.
You can
So,
catch up fast, yeah.
Yeah.
Especially with like an hour of intros and stuff, you can skip a lot. But I just got used to ages ago. Like I edit at 2x speed. I watch everything at 2x speed. The only things I don't watch at 2x speed are things that I'm either reviewing or like. But even things like, I wouldn't like Severance if I watch it at normal speed. I like it at 1.5. So I find it fixes a lot of problems with weak media. Like, other people call it a slow burn, I call it boring.
No, Drew's always honest.
I don't know how to be anything else. Like, literally.
As is Wonky Eyebrow for 2 pounds. Hail, my saucy people. Thank you.
hail.
Hail. Magnum
Hello.
Norris for 5. What did you say?
Hello.
Aloha.
Yeah, I'm
You're-
Hawaiian today.
Oh, okay, Maza.
It was only-
You're Spanish
Hawaiian
tomorrow.
pizza?
It was only a few years ago that I realized that Hawaii was part of America, is it? I'm still not
It
actually
is.
sure.
It
Like,
is.
Since, literally, the first time I heard that, I'm like, since when is Hawaii part of America? How is it even related? And then, well, it's like recently, the Gulf of America. Like, wait, you own that? It's like, all this stuff is brand
yeah.
new to me. It's like, how am I supposed to know the Gulf of Mexico is owned by America? It's just an ocean. How do you even work out who owns an ocean? Well, presumably whoever has the most military ships.
We called dibs. That's how.
Yeah, we own that.
That's
Want to
ours.
disagree?
Trump could just like go around like a male
It was
dog,
like
like
the Panama Canal, and it's like, surely that belongs to Panama. No,
no,
that's ours
no.
actually.
That's why we needed Trump back in power, because he could just like kind of walk around like how dogs pee on stuff and like that's mine.
No,
That's what
right.
Trump can do. He's like,
I
mine now.
actually find it so based. It really scratches that kind of English empire part of me when you just go around the world going, we own that, we own that.
Yeah.
That's the Gulf of America now.
That's probably
Are
why
you
you
gonna
like,
complain?
you like,
It's like,
you like Trump so much because of that.
I'm just like, yeah, we should have done that. So that's what we should have
forgot-
done.
I forgot what Trump did, but I mean, he's done quite a lot of really good stuff. But he did something that made you like, I want to go over there and vote for him. Just was like, I don't even live over there, but now I want to vote for him. I forgot what it was, but you were like, that was so manly and based. I forgot, but yes, we own Gulf of America now. It's ours.
No, there's all people are like, oh, because what's happened in recent times is they needed a pressure point, and so they found in sort of different countries' history pressure points that they could try and use. And so with America, it's always been slavery. Like, oh, this is really bad. And then with England, they tried the empire. I'm like, oh, that's based. Like, we went around the world improving it. We should have done it more. And like, oh, colonialism. I'm like, no, no. That was amazing. Like, so I like the whole idea of just going around the world owning things. If you land on a beach and plant a flag, you own it. That's like the rules.
Okay,
if
so
people
if I
don't
put
like
a
it-
collar on Kara, she's mine.
No, a flag.
Jeremy, I'll fight you for her.
You're gonna have to
Jerry's gonna
find
pop
somewhere you
up.
can put a flag in her.
Uh,
That's the rules. You go to the moon, you plant a
Just
flag,
Drew's
you
like-
own the moon.
Just Drew's like, I don't make the rules. That's
I don't.
the rules.
I just
though.
yeah.
I just abide by them.
Like something in tabletop we found out today is that for the entire campaign, and this has been going on for months, the entire campaign, both Tugs and Steph have been going around completely starkers, wearing no clothes whatsoever. Nobody realized until they checked their sheets and they realized they hadn't bought clothes.
They
And
didn't
I
know?
said-
the entire time.
Just let
they
it
were
all
like,
hang
I
out.
don't know. I thought I was wearing some. It's like, no, you never bought any, so you're not. And like,
That's
no one has commented on it the entire time.
1 second,
And I said
Magnum.
about Tug's character, because she's an archer, it begs the question, where have you been storing your arrows?
where the
Her hair.
flagpole goes.
Mike Wilson art. This reminds me of the Ever After. You own what you can protect. You both have seen Ever After, right? The Drew Barrymore Cinderella story. The scene in the woods. It's her and the prince, but she didn't know he was a prince yet. But they got attacked by bandits that wanted to rob all their stuff, and they're trying to plead with them, and they're like, all right, fine. And they're talking to her. They're like, whatever you can carry, you can take with you.
Mhm.
And she just takes him and lifts him up, and they just started cracking up, and then they became friends after that. They're like, that was funny, like that she did that. That was a good movie. That was probably the best actual like live action version of any Cinderella story. It was really well done.
No, but there's
Sorry,
a
Mike
lot of
just
truth to
triggered
that.
that memory in me.
No, there's a lot of truth that you own what you can protect. It's the same thing in a lot of games. Well, games where it matters. Like Escape from Tarkov. One of the rules if you play with other people is you keep what you kill. So if you kill another person, you own their loot first, you take what you want, and then other people can come and like scavenge off the corpse. And if you watch Wildlife, they also obey the same rules. It's like the biggest, baddest guy gets to eat first, and then everyone else scavenges off the corpse. It's
Same
only
thing with
like
women.
I
I'm
feel-
very serious with that.
well, no, I feel like women kind of. Well, I suppose you have different alphas. Your alphas would be judged differently than male alphas. Like the male alpha would just be who can beat up the other person to a pulp.
And
I
then
feel
be
like the
friends
female alpha
afterwards.
would be social hierarchy. So who could destroy the other one's reputation if they wanted to? They
Mike
just
is
choose
enjoying
not to.
this way too much.
Wow, Mike.
I know.
wanted to wear a
I mean,
French
I
maid
thought
outfit,
X-Ray
but
was
I
going to
guess I'll go
conquer
with that.
Kara, but apparently we're doing it the other way around.
They've taken over.
This is Mike's
the story in the
patriotism.
chat.
No, Mike's patriotism is like, no, if it came down to it, Kara would definitely conquer X-Ray, not the other way around. The Canadians never going to win.
I can't say I disagree. I mean, I love my country and we conquer. Yeah, Mike says you
I
can do
love the way you're
both.
like, I love my country. Kara would 100% beat the crap out of her. It's like, that is amazing. Just
It wasn't about beating the crap.
well,
You know
like,
what?
how
She's
else do you
scrappy.
think someone is going to plant the flag in something else? Like,
It was a collar, not a flag.
well,
And X-Ray does like the
I'm
American
sorry.
flag. So
No,
she probably
no.
would just
Do you
wear
think that
it.
collar is like lesser? Like,
X-Ray's
well,
just being
you either have a
quiet.
flag or you just have a collar around her neck. It's like, okay.
Wow, Kara says I'll
Kara.
plant my flag. Okay.
Well,
I'm waiting.
I think this is the difference between America and the UK. America is like, yeah, no, I'll stick up for my countrymen. She would definitely kick the crap out of her. England would be
Yeah.
like, yeah, they'd probably lose. It's like, yeah, obviously.
So if you want to be a Debbie Downer,
I saw a video earlier today, like, the English are so miserable, you can't actually insult them. You can be like, you're all drunken alcoholics. You're
we
all
can
fat
try.
drunken alcoholics. They'd be like, yeah, we know. But like they
my
just
father
agree
before
with the
me.
insults. And like, you compliment them, that's when they don't know what to do with the situation.
oh my goodness.
She's going to plant her flag in me.
Well,
This is as patriotic as I have.
That is the cutest. I saw her put that on Instagram. That's so cute. I love it.
I didn't touch his hair.
Wait, did Kara make
He's
that?
got a flag on his jacket. There you go.
Oh yeah,
There's
I'm
the
gonna put that
flag.
somewhere. Okay, no, I'm kidding.
whoa.
That is so cute. I saw that on her
Don't do that to
Instagram.
Trump.
I
You're
want
gonna get
one.
in trouble for that.
That is not how impregnation happens. It's like, wait,
I thought it
I'm just
was.
gonna shove it up there.
So sorry, Magnum Norse. You were in the maybe not even just the Dispicu, but we're gonna blame it on him. Thank you for the 5.
Kara literally walked into her room and we're like, no, the sisterhood. It's like, no, we're not going to blame them.
No, of course not. Mahler's Veilguard video got taken down for hate speech. The censorship is not over yet.
Oh
No.
wow. Really?
I didn't know that.
I
No,
had no idea.
obviously, like, censorship it will never be taken down because what you've spent years doing is basically hiring only true believers. So you can make any laws you want. They're all still in the company. This is the whole point. What happens if one side is like, we need to fire you. We don't want you to live. Like, we will cut your income. We want you, you shouldn't be able to work at all. And the other side is like, we want neutrality. Well, the other side wins because they will hire their people and you will hire anybody. So they win by default. Because whenever they get into a position, they only hire their people. So over time, they just win. This is why whenever I've said, if you want neutrality, you can't be neutral. You actually have to bias to a side because it's only one side that wants neutrality.
Sorry, the gulp distracted me. Black cane for
Look, it's like the gulp of the gods.
Sorry.
She's even
Oh my
she's
God.
even
The gulp
moved
of the
nations.
gods.
She is
Oh my
Jesus.
god.
Like that.
My eardrums out.
We can hear it normally. That was as loud as you speaking. It was like,
I'm
That was
sorry.
louder. She's got something to say. The gulp of America.
Is that what you call a throat goat? No, I'm kidding.
I wasn't ready. Oh my gosh. She said it. She sure did. Oh my goodness.
Oh God.
Black cane for 5.
I don't think they normally judge that just off volume, just so like so it's not normally. Men aren't normally into how loud it is. Although I'm not even sure that's occurred to men to judge before. It's like if I can hear a swallowing from the other side of the room, that makes it way hotter.
Okay, men in chat, hot or not, it's okay if you don't think it's hot. It's just one of the weird quirks of my stream setup.
It just happens because it's where her mic is placed. Yeah.
It depends what you're judging it based off. It's basically the answer.
So look up Scottish women naming all the names for lady parts. It was nice seeing X-ray on Rip and the
Rip
Open
and the
Fat Monday
Open-
Night Tights BC stream. That just took
Oh
me
my
a
God,
second.
it was like the weirdest like
Thank you for the 5.
meetup of streams because there was like the entire EFAP Sunday Fun Day, Real BBC, Rip and the Silverback. I think that's open bar.
That's quite the mix. I'm sure it was a good time.
I mean, if you mix EFAP and open bar, that's basically just adding drinker.
EFAP was drinking. Yeah.
I mean, I'm not. Look, we've got this entire other. Oh, it's just drinker. It's like, well, you know, Maul is in both. It kind of does it count?
If anything, Mahler gets around clearly
Oh yeah, because he's
And
because he's in BBC. Yeah, Mauler is like
as
the
open bar.
person that
EFAP.
ties everything together. Yeah.
Hold on, I'm uploading something that
It's
I
the
forgot to
Welsh.
put
They
up.
get around.
Damn.
Well, it's because they're so used to sheep, they can ride them everywhere.
Well, I don't know.
Haggis and all.
No, that's Scotland.
Dang it. I can't keep up.
And
Lord,
nobody rides a haggis. Like a haggis. Actually, one thing that the Scottish people do go on to tourists about is that have you ever seen like the wild haggis roaming the fields? Like they're just out jaunting around the. Go and see a wild haggis. It's like no.
jaunting. Lord both
What was
over
that?
What? That's what you said.
What was wrong with them
jaunting.
saying the word jaunting?
Just thought it was a funny word, so I wanted to replace it. I didn't say there's anything wrong with
You
that. I
didn't
just
replace
repeated
it. You impersonated it. I'm like, wait.
Not replace
Did I say it in a strange way?
Re-say it. No, you didn't. I just wanted to re-say it, and I said it in a strange way. I ruined it. Sorry.
No, it sounded like you were trying to impersonate my accent, which was like, wait,
Jaunting.
do I say jaunting in a strange, like a bizarre way?
Now I'm gonna make you self-conscious. I can never say jaunting ever again now. I'm just kidding.
I'm not sure I've ever heard you say the word jaunting before.
No, that's why I wanted to say it. I don't think I've ever said it before.
It's like wicked expansive vocabulary stream.
I learned more stuff. It's been stored back there, just like with insufferable. Lord
I do
both
say
of-
insufferable quite a lot.
You do.
Yeah.
For $4.99. Let's go, Chiefs. Boo! 3-peat bound. I'm from Missouri and was around for Matt Castle years when we were always 2-14. So feed me the hate. You know what? You're gonna get this, Botha.
Boo this man!
There you go. Thanks for the $4.99. Duppy Rider for 2. Wicked, you have eyeballs. 2 of them.
Mhm.
Thank you, Duppy, for facts.
I have 2. Ed Song,
You can see almost as well as a normal human being.
almost.
And you can see twice as well as an Asian.
That's true. It's like a camera lens. The more light you get on the sensor, the better you can see.
That's why I have 2 ring cams or not cams.
That's also why she
ring
went,
lights.
that's why I have 2 ring cams. She had to go, that's why I have 2 ring cams. It was like, so she could actually count
This
them.
is the widest my eye has ever been. Ow, that hurt.
I'm not surprised. I don't even know why you did that. That was weird.
That hurt.
It's like, wait.
Rip the skin. Ed Song,
That was like
even a
something out
5.
of a movie where they're like torturing someone and they don't want to close their eyes, so they have those
Oh,
machines.
that device where they're like making you watch something. Yeah.
But this is why when people are like, oh, she got crazy eyes, they're always like that. Like, oh, this is just normal. I see every moment of every second. I can't forget it.
Yeah, Clockwork Orange, the chat. Mhm.
Yes, yeah. I've still not seen that movie.
I thought
But I
X-Ray
kn-
left.
I
looked
know
down for a
about it
second
just
and
'cause-
she was gone.
Yes. She's like, there's no way I can handle this stream anymore.
took a low nap.
I was
Car-
gonna go to
He's like,
bed,
look.
sorry.
If Kara's going to conquer me later, I need to numb the pain.
My goodness. Carmen, sorry, Wendy. I don't trust something that bleeds for 5 days and doesn't die, referring to women.
I like that you think it's only 5 days.
I guess
5
it
days a
depends.
month?
Yeah, I think that's what they mean. 5 days a month. Ruddy, thank you for the I was gonna go ahead and change the topic before chat gets grossed out. Remember to use the floss technique for bald dry. What?
Wait, what?
Okay.
Oh, yeah, you know,
When you're in the shower.
backwards and forwards. No,
You get out
he
of the
doesn't mean the
shower.
Fortnite flossing, which is that weird. Everyone remembers the ninja flossing.
Oh,
Don't
that
do
was
that in
dope.
Central Park.
Don't ever do that.
Don't go to New York and floss. They'll look at you as if you're a weirdo, because you are, because you're a ninja.
Because you're a ninja. You don't even have to floss. You just gotta exist as ninja to be.
The ninja is the kind of person, the more you know about him, the more you don't want to know about him. I've learned. I went for years without learning more about him. I was quite happy with my knowledge about Ninja, and then Marvel Rivals started, and then
I
he
know
started to
nothing
play with
about
Tim the
him.
Tatman, and I liked Tim the Tatman. Tim the Tatman plays with Ninja, so I learned more about Ninja. I don't want to know this much about Ninja. Stop it.
Ninja looks smelly. You know what? You're right.
Ninja.
He had something to say. Just go ahead. Just go ahead. Say it with your
There's a
chest.
video. There's a video Ninja did about how to conduct yourself around women, and he's like,
Oh.
you know, if ever you go for like the come on and you go to like touch her leg and she's like, oh no, stop it, just don't touch her. That is Ninja's entire knowledge of how you should conduct yourself in public, babe.
My goodness. All right, a couple more super chats and then we'll go on to the next topic. Clyde, thank you for becoming a new member.
Saucy.
And Sneaky Singing, he's been a member for 7 months. Always a blast hanging here. Thank you, Sneaky. Jason Webster with another Australian 5. I sincerely believe this will be the year I find the woman who will be the love of my life. That's a way to be positive, Jason.
Oh,
We're all
Jason, I
rooting for
can't
you.
wait. You better
Yes.
let us know when that happens, honestly. I want to know.
Yes.
Unironically, given that women are far more susceptible and generally go with like societal pressure, so whatever is the most dominant belief, they will go with. Like they're very good at fitting into places. It's an evolutionary perspective. Essentially, when tribes would conquer other tribes, the men would all be killed, the women were taken into the new tribe. So anyone who adapted the best to the new environment, whatever the dominant ideology was, were the ones that survived. So over time, you've ended up with people who are way more accepting of whatever the dominant thing is. If it becomes the perception that rather extreme nutcases are the dominant part of society to just being correct, is the best way I can put it, then I think you will have more and more people flipping to a position that would be acceptable. And I think you stand a better chance of actually being happy rather than in a permanent level of, oh my god, I'm in a living hell, which is what you would have been in before.
Just ruin it if he ever gets married. That's
No,
his
no,
vow.
if I ever married a Californian, I end up in prison, or she's based. Like, those are the only two options. I could not live with a feminist. I'd be like, this is my idea of a living hell. Can you,
Same.
like, just going
Could you
downstairs?
imagine?
And you're just like, oh, I'm offended, I'm offended, I'm offended. You need to do this, you need to do that. I'm like, oh no. And you see men like this. You see them constantly.
Hold the door open for her and she yells at you.
No, they've just had this their entire life and they've been broken. And like, there's nothing more sad than seeing a man that's just been broken that way.
Yes. All right. We'll do a couple more. Mark of Reality, thank you for the 10. What fool would want to shut Disparu up? Not a good idea. For starters, I don't think he can, but if he could, you would miss out on a full Disparu experience.
If Wicked had like total mute control, yes, but I can unmute myself, which is the problem.
Was it Hokies? Who did that super chat to mute, or was it Mark? I don't remember.
No, it was
Oh shoot.
But my problem is if someone wants to go into like an insulting war, which is what I felt like Kara was doing, I will respond in kind, and I don't mean it negatively, but I can never be sure if the other person is the same. And so I won't know where that line is. I will assume it's all good intentioned, and I'll just keep going. And that's what's got me into trouble
British
before.
Humor.
Yeah, because to me, it's like, if you want a back and forth, I'm just going to try and win. There is no line that I won't cross. I will say the worst things imaginable to you, and I expect the same in return.
Who's Jim?
And this is my problem. And so I always, when you know someone really well, you can be like relaxed around this. I've said this before. I wouldn't be on this stream if I thought like Wicked or X-Ray Girl would get affected. And if they ever like, if they were like, oh my god, you can't say that. If I was walking around Charles, I wouldn't be here.
Yeah.
But there's a lot of people you can't do that around. And so whenever I get into that kind of banter back and forth, I'm never sure whether they're going to take it the wrong way. And so...
Yes, you.
Oh, Jim. Sorry. Oh my gosh. Thank you, Jim. I'm drunk. I'm sorry.
She's on her third, so she's
Canadian.
A little saucy.
I actually looked at the clock an hour in and was like, wow, I shouldn't be like this for an hour in. So I had to slow down.
Yeah. I feel like a chicken wing, sauced and tossed.
Like that. I love a good chicken wing.
What did they say about horses? It is like written and put away wet.
Has this wonky eyebrow for 2 pounds. Kara is so teeny tiny. She is. She's adorable. This is the Gooner Badass for $1.99. At least I know I can always count on my fingers. I don't get it. Wait, what were we talking about?
And
That was at 8:09. What were we talking about 20 minutes ago?
Planting a flag.
Crickets. Oh, okay. Makes sense. Thank you for the
Look, I may not have a flag, but
I know what he meant.
Yeah.
Mark, thank you so much for the 50.
Yes, queen.
Yes. Speaking of Trump, the way he tweeted at Putin, we must not forget how much the Russians lost 60 million just to help us defeat the second most powerful Axis power. Later, he says of Putin, that's no way to run a country. Was that recently? I haven't been paying attention. Honestly, I'm not on Twitter that much.
Tweet specifically.
Politics right now, it's hard to keep up.
It's true.
Well, this is going to be it for the next 4 years. My issue is, especially like from England, I'm always aware that I'm not from America and I actually have no right to speak about it. So I try and not, because it's not my place. Like, I have opinions, but I don't generally try and say them specifically unless there's like related to something.
Did you just hit your mic? I heard something.
Well, it's the...
You got excited?
No, I hit this all the time. I just cut it out to videos is the only problem. So I'm always aware, like, not to. I mean, if you're talking about like Russia, it's more like related to me than anything else. I find it so weird that America is so preoccupied with Russia, to be honest. Like, it seems like more of a European problem. Although if it becomes a European problem, it will probably become an American.
Yeah, I think that's more so what it is. But you're right. I think it's better to focus on our own stuff, but keep an eye on. It's not even. But keep an eye on the other. You know.
I think Russia I said this the other week.
Hiccups.
The way my locus of control works, the way my caring works, is I care about me, then the people near me, then the people that spread out from me, then the people I know. You know, and so it's from internal outside. And so by the time you get like to the far side of Europe, I don't care. I don't know any of these people. My situation at that point is that I really prefer
Point.
we weren't bombing each other. Oh.
Yeah.
Well, that's yeah. No nuclear nation has ever gone to war for a very good reason. So it's probably better if we just don't. And if we all just had pizza, it would probably be a lot easier.
We all had pizza. You
Pizza as
make the
well.
world
You can have
happier.
pizza, and that leads.
I thought
to
he said
peace.
pizza, and I was like, I'll
No,
take
I
some
think
pizza
all
right now.
peace negotiations would go better
Oh,
with
he said
pizza.
pizza because your mic cut, so I thought you were like pizza, and I was like, I agree with that.
Yes.
Cheers to that pizza.
Well, or I think any peace negotiation will go better with pizza than without pizza.
Like, listen, I brought pizza. Let's talk about this.
Exactly. Who's going to turn that down? You're at least
Not
going to eat the
me.
pizza first before you tell them where they can shove it.
Yeah.
The piece,
Okay.
not the pizza. They're not going to shove the pizza anywhere.
Speaking of nukes, I don't know. Blake Lively.
Nice segue. Nice segue.
Yeah. Blake Lively and Justin Baldoni feud, a pure PR play with real legal stakes. So I've been following it a little bit because you just kind of can't help even disproves like against his own will.
Everything I know about this is against my will.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah,
Um,
it's been all over Twitter, and it's literally been the biggest news story. And I only think because Blake Lively is obviously married to Ryan Reynolds, and he is probably one of the biggest, most positive, knows how to spin news, PR stunts, and all that type of
Yeah.
dude. And so to be put in this light and hear some of these things, and possibly things are going to come out or have come out already, is really bad for him, especially because like Blake Lively, she really never really needed to work after she married him. Like, come on.
No. I mean,
But-
honestly, she
No,
has,
but now, okay.
she has
but
money
no,
from Gossip Girl and stuff too. Like, she probably could have just been.
She
mean,
has
yes.
money and she's
Yeah, so-
done
Yeah.
acting
but
movies.
so why? The question becomes, why is she still working? It's because of status.
Yeah.
It's because she wants to be known. She wants to be in the center of attention. This is all point. With the moment you start saying that men and women are equal, you stop being able to describe their differences, and that's a problem because it actually hides bad behavior that both men and women do because they have different motivations. And if women want attention, if that's like a main driving force, then it does mean that things like this get interpreted differently, which is why it's like everything's hidden down. You can't talk about this stuff anymore. I'm not sure, but Ryan Reynolds knows how to spin this, but I don't think he's the cause of it. I think he's kind of a side effect that he just happens to be involved in the situation.
He's just trying to do what's right or good between the two of them. So for those who don't know, there is a movie that the both of them have we'll call produced. I don't know the extent of her as a producer, but it's a book adaptation. What's the movie called again?
It ends with us. Yeah.
Justin Baldoni,
Which
his
is
company
quite
bought
a
the
good
rights
title
to the
for the fight.
I know.
He bought the rights to this book and, you know, obviously casted Blake Lively. She wanted to have producing credits. And so yada, yada, yada. She has sued him for like sexual harassment on set. Some things have happened, transpired according to her, things like, you know, scenes that ended a bit more unchoreographed with kissing and intimacy that, you know, they didn't have an intimacy coordinator for. And, you know, you think, okay, maybe she's right. I don't know. But then evidence starts coming out of her even showing how Justin Baldoni should be treating her.
Yeah, there was a video where she was being very aggressive, like pulling him in and putting his hand, like, do this. Yeah. And it's like, it's fine, I guess. But like what she's claiming happened, it just does not look good for her. Like that she's making
No.
him grab her and do certain things. And it's like,
She
yeah,
has
I
said
don't.
that he's come into her trailer while she's pumping breast milk uninvited when there are text messages saying that she said to come in.
Oh,
And it's
yeah.
like, okay, you're crying wolf at this point because you keep saying these things and there's evidence. And this is light, I'll call it light evidence because obviously not all the text messages have come out. Not all the information has come out in people's other testimonials. I have no idea what's going to come out from it, but it's not putting her in a good light. And then on top of that, her ties with Ryan Reynolds, apparently there was a meeting with the three of them, and apparently Ryan Reynolds was yelling at Justin Baldoni. Plus, on top of that, you know, Nice Pool?
Yes, I was gonna bring that up. Nice Pool supposed to, it's allegedly making fun of Justin Baldoni.
Yep. So it just, I think this couple is, as much as she may have thought like hashtag me too, this is going to totally throw him in under the bus, maybe put me in a better light. It's backfiring entirely on them.
Yeah, so totally backfiring. I think what happened was, because I remember before this came out, I actually watched the movie and it was fine for a chick flick. I don't think guys would really be into it, but actually I might like it if she watches it. Maybe you and
Serendipity.
Kara can watch it. But
Serendipity is the best chick flick.
so what happened with this movie when it came out, she got like bad publicity for it, because she was like promoting her non-alcoholic mixers, like for drinks, and like you can mix it with alcohol, whatever. I forget what it's called, like Betty Pop or something like that.
Or
and
even
she
her
was
fashion.
and her
line.
fashion, yeah, she was promoting stuff, and people were like, "Oh, this is supposed to be about abuse in the movie that happens, like physical abuse and stuff." So they're like, it's very distasteful of you to be promoting your stuff and like making this seem like it's some kind of romantic thing, or she just got some backlash for it, and things started coming out that she wasn't really great to work with. And now from what I remember and what I've seen, Justin Baldoni wasn't putting stuff out about her. So I think she tried to jump ahead of it in case he did. Possibly, this is allegedly, I don't know, this may come out to be the case.
None of us know.
But I
It's
think
all
she
opinions,
tried,
yeah.
I think she tried to maybe jump ahead of it and was like, I'm going to file a lawsuit against him. And then her and her team, they did not expect him to push back.
Countersue?
Yeah, they thought he was just going to roll over and take it, because from some of the texts I've seen, I haven't read all of them. Like a lot of stuff has come out. I'm interested a little just to see. So I've looked at a little bit of it where he just kind of let her do what she wanted to make things go smoothly with production. He was a director and she wanted to take control. Apparently she wanted the last editing rights, so he couldn't go through with his team and edit it before it went out. She needed to have the editing done because she wanted to make sure she looked good. Typical narcissistic Hollywood person, right? So, and they let her do that. So they didn't expect him to push back when they filed the lawsuit. He sued her, and so now she's suing him. And this article right here, Blake Lively and Ryan Reynolds are reportedly ordered to hand over texts and emails about Justin Baldoni. And I feel like that's not going to go over very well.
No, and so if you had read through Justin Baldoni's countersue, all the pages, and I've just lightly skimmed through them, he highlights text messages that she actually like kind of refers to, and she removes things that gives context to the texts that she released.
Okay.
And even at that, you're like, okay, so now, in the court of law, when you are found to be a liar, as we have seen even in just that little interaction, you're like, okay, well, I don't know if I can believe you as much anymore.
It reflects on your character. And exactly. I think as well, when you're like, she didn't expect him to like rebuke it, I think it goes back to what were the other two? The Pirates of the Caribbean guy and
Johnny Depp and Amber Heard.
Yeah, those two. Do you remember? Do you remember the line with her where she said, "I can do this to you. I can beat you, and you'll go to the police, and no one will believe you
because you're a man and I'm a woman."
because you're a man and I'm a woman, and that isn't a comment. That is reality. That is the way it works, and everybody knows this. To work. No, well, this is my point. That is the way it works. That's the way it's worked for like the last 100 years. And so when you're like, well, I don't think he'll push back on it. I don't think she expected him to be able to, because a lot of this stuff, especially when it comes to public perception, only works when the media actually reports on your point of view. And they have, for a long time, specifically excluded points of view so they can focus on the other one. So it doesn't really matter what you say. It doesn't matter if you're right. If everybody believes the other person's point of view, you kind of win. And so what's happened throughout all of this is she said something. He's gone, I want to reveal everything. And she said no. So he's like, I've revealed these texts. So she put a gag order. He's like, well, I want to reveal all of your texts. And she's like, well, I don't want to do that.
I only want to reveal some that make me look good.
I am way more likely to believe the person that wants to reveal everything and let people make up their own mind than the person that only wants to reveal select things. because that means you know there's things in there that makes you not look good, that doesn't agree with your story. If you're trying to censor anything, it means you have something to hide. And I think, and like I say, with Ryan, he's with her, and so he's always going to take her side. He's
As he
always going to trust
should.
her.
Yeah.
I don't think he should take her side if she's lying, but I think just from like a biological perspective, he will always believe her, because otherwise you wouldn't be married to her in the first place if you didn't trust her.
If you hear from your person, they come home and they're like, this person's done this, this, and this, me. Of course, they're gonna get protective and then like try to circumvent it and create some sort of solution, which I think he did try.
Yes. But there is. I can simultaneously understand why you do that, because you're with them, and so obviously you want to trust them.
You
But
also
it is
should
still
probably most likely believe them.
Well, yes, but it is also still wrong for you to believe them if they're not telling the truth. So you can be like, in a reality perspective, wrong, but in a subjective perspective, you're still acting in the way that you probably should have done.
Mm.
I just think that if you're married to someone and she comes home and goes somewhere a guy did to her, like did something to her or whatever, you should still care about the truth. And so you like, whether it's in the courts or not, you should still know the entire situation. And there may come a time when you're like, actually, you're the one that's in fault. I don't think you should take your partner's side in anything. If they are genuinely wrong, I think you should tell them.
Yeah. What's allegedly like what people are the conclusion that people are coming to though is that Ryan may have known like from the start that she was going to be lying, so they might be in like cahoots, I guess, for lack of a better term, together on this.
He could have just been taken in, though. That's the thing. He could have been
But
fooled by, like, it just
No.
trusted
Yeah, and
her.
then
Like
yeah,
she
that
could have just said things and then he took her for her word, which I
Yes.
think most people in a relationship do that.
yeah.
Yes. This is why I wouldn't blame Ryan, like, from any perspective. Whether he just believed her because he was, like, gullible or wanted to believe her.
Because it was his wife, yeah. But
yeah,
what
I think there is
here
a-
is saying, I think I read something about this. If Ryan was there a lot and he did see that, in fact, this stuff wasn't going on, that makes you wonder. But I mean, he
Men
could've been
get
there
very easily fooled
by-
by women, especially if they're involved with them, especially if
Yeah.
they're the wife.
I'm not
They
gonna
will
like
generally take their side in anything.
completely throw him under the bus because yes, you should stand next to your spouse. But now, like, if he did know at some point that she was lying,
Oh, if he
probably
knew she was
should've-
lying, 100% just throw her under the bus. I would.
That's well, not that he needs to throw her under the bus, but maybe he
no,
should,
100. No, just throw
he-
her under the bus. You're like, it's your
he
fault.
should have
Bye.
gave her maybe better like guidance, right? Be like, hey, don't sue. Like maybe we need to just like kind of let this go, let it go, sweep it under the rug. But they're countersuing and everything. I don't know. Well,
But she's the
we
one
might
that kicked
never-
this off, isn't she? She's the one that
Yeah.
initiated it.
Yeah, like I
So-
said, she was getting bad press and she was getting a
Like-
bad image, and then she decided.
Ryan
like I
only
said,
gets
she
an
didn't think
out
he was
in
gonna
this
push back,
if he
so she
knew,
went all in.
if he didn't know. Like, if he's
Yeah.
ignorant, if he's gullible, if he believed her, you can kind of understand why. If he knew, that's an entirely different story.
I don't think that she did this because of the bad press. I just think she wanted to cause trouble.
Even from her perspective, I understand why she would do it. Because you have lived through literally years and years, at least a decade, of victimization leading to a career advantage. And we have seen this multiple. You saw the Black Widow actress. When she was younger,
Who was
and Black
also
Widow,
married to Ryan at some point.
was she?
Her
Oh, I
show.
didn't know that.
Yes.
But when she was younger, she was like using her body and everything, and as Black Widow to get ahead in the career industry. She's doing all the scenes, all the look at me kind of scenes. And then as she got older, as she aged out of that demographic, as she stopped getting roles for doing that kind of thing, suddenly, no, we don't want to objectify people. No, I don't want to be replaced by younger people. Now we actually have to evolve. We have to stop all of that. Like,
to be good
this is something that Hollywood actresses have always done. They start being like, this is a great thing because now I get an advantage. To moving on to, you shouldn't do that. You shouldn't give those an advantage. You need to give me an advantage. And as they age out, they change their opinions. So.
To what suits their advantage.
Yes.
And another thing about the like Ryan being involved, I saw a couple of press pictures. There was, when they were doing press for the movie, he even had Hugh Jackman in one of the red carpet events or something, and it was like they were using the Deadpool Wolverine fame to, success to help push her movie a little bit. And I think Justin Baldoni wasn't even there, so it was kind of weird to see that. It's like Hugh Jackman, he's not even in the movie, but he's at the red carpet posing for pictures and stuff. It was
Fine with
kind
all
of
that kind of thing.
no, there's nothing wrong with it, but it just shows that Brian may have been using his not may have been. He was using his stardom to push his wife's movie, which is nothing wrong with that.
It is a good thing in a relationship to be able to help each other in both of their careers. I don't think that we can negatively say anything about that.
Yeah, no, it's not negative.
You're married, so her money is your money. So improving her career helps you as a family.
Absolutely.
That's exactly what you should be doing as a family, is helping each other. She should be doing the same thing for him. Except she can't because he's just bigger.
He's just bigger.
But
Yeah.
on a more level playing field, then yes, if you can help anyone, that I have no problem with a man biasing his wife in anything. Like, she should be biasing. I think that's something you should be doing. You should be biasing the people closest to you. This is why when people like, again, I don't want to make it political. It's just the easiest example. You've got like Trump and Barron and everybody, and like Trump Jr. or whatever his name is. This is how much I care about American politics. I don't actually know the guy's name.
Barron Trump?
No, I know Barron. I don't know, but there is like a Trump Jr. or something.
There's
one in the middle.
There's Donald Trump Jr. and Eric Trump. So
well,
there's 3
people are like, oh my god, I can't believe he's given them a job in like. Obviously, that's what I'd do. Like, that's what you should do. You should help your family and your people and the people closest to you before other people. As long as they're competent, I don't think there's anything wrong with that. So I can understand him like marketing his wife's movie. Like,
yeah, no, I'm just saying, like, pointing out that he was, it's just been said that he was heavily involved in all of it, so.
Yeah, but that doesn't mean that he knows, because
doesn't mean that he knows what happened, yeah.
There was a THR article which said, how come the right wing is so behind Justin Baldoni, given that he's a male feminist? And it's because it seems like from everything that's been put out, it seems like that's the truth. And so that's what people care about.
Yeah.
Like, they don't like him. I can't stand him.
The facts that have been presented thus far.
Yeah, under my morality, his own declarations make him evil. If you're a male feminist, I have no other word for you except evil. But if you're accused of something you haven't done, I don't want you to hear you prosecuted for it.
Yeah.
And it's
like, I can't imagine at your own premiere for your own movie that you have to be put in a basement with your friends and family.
Is that what happened?
Yes.
I didn't even know.
For an hour. At least.
I wouldn't do that. I would go out and go to the press immediately.
That's exactly why they thought. Oh, I thought I turned my camera back on. That's exactly why they thought that he was just gonna, like, he was a pushover during all of that. So they thought, well, we're gonna file the lawsuit, and he's not gonna push back. And then they were surprised when he did.
The interesting thing about that is a personality type, because you have the people that immediately kick off, like they're just instantly aggressive, and then you have the people that will literally take anything and you can walk over them. But then you have the people who have a line. Like, there's some kind of principle they won't cross, and they'll take it. Especially in Hollywood, this is probably, like, there's probably quite a few of them. They'll take something up to a point, and then you'll cross that line, and they'll explode. And that's it. And that's probably what's happened here. They pushed him too far. He's like, I would have let you walk over me up to a point. I was like, no.
Well, and that's the thing with Justin Baldoni. Like, in his actions, him speaking to the press isn't going to help him in the long term. So I respect the fact that he held himself back, didn't take away from the movie, allowed Blake Lively to do whatever she needed or wanted, and then done the legal route and taking care of it that way. Because in the end, look where he is now. He is in a more positive light, in my opinion, than Blake Lively. And this might end up tanking her career because she thought she could Amber Heard him.
Mm-hmm.
She learned nothing from that trial, apparently.
Now, something, because despite what anyone believes, there are sex differences between everyone, and there are general trends. And one of the general trends is that women are far more susceptible to punishment than men. So men will take the risk, whereas women will, if there's a punishment, if there's a negative consequence, they'll be far more reserved. And Ryan Reynolds essentially takes away her punishment. Because let's say that she's proven like the most horrific person in the universe or whatever at court. Even if her career is destroyed, he's there as a safety gap. Like, he's already massive in Hollywood. He's got millions. He will continue to make millions because he is competent, talented, and successful.
And he
So
has other like ventures that are making money. It's not just his Hollywood career.
So whatever happens to her, she won't essentially feel it. She'll be taken out of the public eye, but her money, her lifestyle will remain exactly the same. And so she can go for gold. She can take all the risks because there's nothing that can punish her. She's not going to end up in prison for this. So she can just say whatever.
It's true. Well,
I remember before I started doing YouTube videos and stuff, I watched loads of YouTube, loads of Twitch, and it's what I've said about stories. Is essentially you learning from stories without you going through the danger of things. And I remember watching people like Angry Joe and stuff go through various accusations, and those accusations were nonsense. Like Angry Joe's, I know Az has spoken about, like Az did a video about it where he just went through it all, and it's a very good video. If you ever want to research the topic, it was complete nonsense. She literally said that nothing happened in the accusation, but it was presented in a way to slur him, and I think things like that have basically formed my opinion on all this stuff. And you kind of learn. It's like your entire career can be destroyed by literally someone saying that you did nothing wrong, but phrasing it in a way that it sounds like you did, unless people want to believe you. And so that's why the way I see things like this. It's literally, she's like, oh, well, he made me feel uncomfortable. I don't care whether you felt uncomfortable. Did he do something illegal or not? And she's like, well, you know, I felt like I couldn't say, I don't care whether you felt like. Could you have said it now? And did he stop? If he didn't, then, you know. And I feel like there are a lot of people who are having their lives destroyed because of emotions. And emotions where you want to make the other person responsible for your emotion. And that just seems morally incorrect. And it's happened for years. And so whenever anything like this comes out, I don't think he should even be required to suggest that she sends all the text messages. I think by default, everything. You want to make these accusations come out, everything comes out in the public. By default. Or, the other alternative is, I don't know whether you have it over there, but over here, if you make an accusation against someone, your name is not put in the public. And so, I don't think anyone should name his. Like, if she accused him, we shouldn't know until the result in court is settled. And so if he's found guilty, then we find out. If he's not found guilty, no one ever knows.
But the problem is she brought it to the press before
well,
the legal action.
My default position is if anyone goes to the public before they go to the police, I don't care.
you don't believe them. They want the
Yes, because why would
clout
you?
from it. Yeah.
Like, if a crime has been committed, you go to the police. You don't go to Twitter. I don't know. Like, all these things are like personal decisions that I've made based on things that I've seen in other people's situations. But I am fed up of seeing people's careers destroyed because of accusations.
Yeah.
And if people have done stuff, obviously,
Mhm.
they should be held accountable for it. But I want people to actually be held accountable for the actions they've done, not somebody else's emotions about a situation that may have happened.
Yeah. No, you're making a very good point. I agree with that. Unfortunately, it's not like the accusations ruin people's lives. Even if they've been proven not to be true, it'll still ruin someone's life.
And just in case any of that like, the reason why I mentioned Angry Joe is not any specific thing. It's just the first thing on my head. Because I think Angry Joe's situation was literally an example of something where he was obviously innocent, is why I mentioned it.
Understandable. All right. Well, let's get these super chats and then we'll do a palate cleanser from the Hollywood drama. Justin Martin, thank you for the 5. Kind of pointless to mute X-Ray Girl considering she peeks her own mic half the time anyway.
I forgot to bring my Shure. I'm so sorry, chat. And I mean, it's better than using
You've
the
only
USB.
peeked your mic once, and it was in a really weird situation, so it hasn't
When
been a
I
problem.
swallowed?
No.
Yeah.
Although
Oh,
that is a weird thing to hear you say.
Should I
no,
swallow again?
You were like acting out something and getting really theatrical, and we just couldn't hear it at all. I can't remember what it was. It was ages ago.
Sorry. I'm trying to be better about speaking in a normal tone with this.
Well,
mic.
She gets excited. It's okay.
It literally it's happened once in the entire stream. It's not that big a deal, and it's better than peaking anyway. So it's a positive for the mic, if anything.
Marker Reality, thank you for the 5. So if Blake and Ryan divorce, is Blake going to be the one shelling out child support now that
It's
no fault
Ryan.
divorce is on the rocks?
Sorry.
In several states? Yeah,
There's
but
no
I'm
way.
pretty sure Ryan.
Blake would 100% get custody of the kids.
Like
Yeah.
if you think about how much Ryan Reynolds makes, he has his whiskey, he has his media company, he has all the money he's made from being an actor, producer, director. I'm sure it credits everywhere. Like he is making bank in comparison to her. Not that she's not making any money, but just he's making way more.
Child support goes to who has the kids, but due to a law that was made over here, because a friend of the Queen wanted custody of her kids, so the Queen helped the law get passed, and then it got inherited by America. So it became the default perspective of essentially the West.
Really? I didn't even know that.
Yes, this is. Yes.
Yes, it's very true. You don't have to look it up. Just believe me. Okay.
No.
I believe you.
Anything I ever say, look up. I encourage people to. If I don't believe somebody, I look it up. I encourage anyone to fact check anything I say. This is why I don't feel the need to. I don't remember the sources. I expect people to fact check me. Don't believe. The reason why that happened, and that's why it's become the default perspective. I can't remember what I was going to say. That it became essentially the default perspective of everything. Is that women need their mother, children need their mothers. It's like, well, single mothers give worse outcomes for everything. Whereas if you have a male as the leader, as the sole upbringer, it actually leads to the same outcome as a couple. So that wasn't the case. It was literally because this woman was friends with the Queen and got the Queen to pass the law for her. And that's why Blake would always win. The only time a man gets custody is if the mother is horrific. Like if something seriously wrong that would actually endanger the child.
Yeah.
The only reason it ever switches.
I also don't think they're going to get a divorce.
Well, even
It's
if they
hard to
did,
say.
it is possible that he had like his money in trust and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
If he was sensible.
I mean, if he's smart, he'd have different LLCs where his money is just sitting there, not in his pocket.
Things in trust, companies that she's not a part of,
Mhm.
that you're not on. There are ways. I think it's just sad that that's required in the first place.
Yeah.
It's also, I think it's called like tax sheltering too, to protect yourself from paying so much taxes, especially if he's a billionaire, which I think he is.
I wouldn't be surprised. I mean, he's been such a big name for such a long time. Like Ryan Reynolds, it seems like Ryan Reynolds has been around my entire life. Like he's been in movies my entire
since
life.
Blade Trinity, when I saw his beautiful abs when he got tortured.
I wondered what you got to. I was like, ass? No, oh, abs.
No,
okay.
no, his abs. No, that
Blade
scene
Trinity
where he
was
gets
such an awful
tortured.
film.
Oh, like you guys
I
had Jessica
hated Blade
Biel,
Trinity.
and I had Ryan Reynolds. Like there
Yeah,
was
but Jessica
eye candy.
Biel. What was the? No, Jessica Alba was it? Or
Which one? For what movie?
Both
I know.
Jessicas are gorgeous.
oh,
Yeah.
I remember Jessica Alba. I can't remember where from. I don't think I ever know Jessica Biel.
Alias. No, that was. I'm sorry, that wasn't her. She
No,
was in
no.
Dark
Dancing
Angel. Dark
movies.
Angel.
Yes,
Dark Angel.
I love Dark Angel. That was
Yeah.
amazing. See, this is the thing. Like, it was like when I brought all that sorcerer thing, and you were like, "Oh, I remember that one." These are the kind of the range of shows that nobody's heard of.
I love.
You never
Dark
hear
Angel.
You never hear Dark Angel brought up. But that was literally that was such a good idea. Like people are genetically mutating children to be like super soldiers and stuff, and then they escape and they hunt them down. And what seemed wild then, you could have a city with checkpoints where everyone's sectioned in that city because they didn't want them to move around. That was like sci-fi. And it could be next Tuesday.
Yeah. Market Reality, thanks for another 5. So if Blake has another Julio situation, then Ryan needs to look real close at his marriage. Right now, he needs to be quiet and act the fool. Oh, act like he doesn't know like that what she did. That's probably smart. Just
It's
be
the
the
smart play.
yeah, be a support support for your wife, but just like
I take a different point of view. Like I am way more objective than this. It's like, I only think he's in the right position if he believes her, or if she's correct, because either could be true. Despite my opinion, if he knows, I wouldn't support her. I would be like, how on earth can I get out of this? I would never stay with somebody that would do that to somebody else if I knew. That's horrific. Like, if you do it to them, she'll do it to you. So no,
yeah, if you look at it that way, I guess. I don't know. We'll see. For all we know, he did know, and I don't know.
I am quite careful about the people you trust. You don't want people that will do that to other people in like close to you.
No, yeah.
I am all for filters. Come up with filters that filter out bad people and stick to them.
Yeah. And something that we had talked about on Poor Choices we talked about this case is maybe Blake really wanted to just get out from underneath her husband's shadow and do something. And maybe she was like, oh my God, Justin Baldoni, he is a cute guy, and maybe wanted to get a bit more intimate in that sense. But, not skirt the lines too much, but just enough that she had, gotten a little bit of attention. And he was like, no, we're not doing that. And then she retorts with this. I could see that happening. A woman's wrath is also a possibility in this case. We have no idea. And this will obviously get hopefully sussed out in court. And I really can't wait to see what happens. And I kind of hope, I don't know if this is possible, but I really want this to be public if they do take it to trial.
Especially because they've already, gave us so much information on it. So now everyone kind of wants a conclusion.
The interesting thing about the Amber Heard, I always forget his name,
Johnny Depp?
Justin Timberlake. That's the one. I keep thinking it's Justin Trousersnake.
Johnny Timberlake.
Justin Trousersnake was his Hollywood nickname because apparently he's one of the biggest people in Hollywood. Either way.
And you like telling us that whenever you
can. What can I say? I mean, it's an impressive feat, right? But they already went through a court case. They went through an English court case, but our court cases don't have cameras. So the press don't report on them because it's basically done in secret. You can't take pictures, you can't show people on camera, you can't show the public, so everything gets filtered through the media. And he got found guilty. Then he went to America, where you can have cameras, you can have the press, you can show people the reality of the courtroom, and he was found innocent because the public opinion was like, this is wild. How on earth is this even possible? And it made me basically change my opinion on the legal system. I'm like, no, everything should. Like, why shouldn't court cases just be broadcast on the internet so that everyone can make their mind up? Because I think that basically saved him. Under our legal system, he was guilty. And so it makes you realize how the entire idea of being judged by your peers, it does matter who those peers are, because those peers are all biased. And if they're all biased in the same way, you're screwed, whether you're innocent or not. And the actual broadcasting it to everyone prevents that. So I'm all for everything being made public. Maybe it should be the default. This whole point, people like the right to privacy. It's like, yeah, but in a case like this, wouldn't you rather be proved innocent and sordid? Like, let's say they exchanged sexual texts or something. You would prefer those came out and you were found innocent than people assumed that, she was right.
Well, and that's the thing is, like, I was, when we're going through the case, even the lawyer was like, just you wait. That confidence that lawyer not always have, but he knew based on what Justin provided and had talked to in his consultations that it was enough to have a pretty good closed case. That doesn't happen often.
The entire case has been him wanting to reveal everything and her putting gag orders on. The person who wants to stop the other person talking is probably the one lying.
Yeah.
Because otherwise, what do you have to hide? There is an element of that at all times. Like, if you want him to stop talking, what does he have that you don't want him to say?
Exactly.
Because if he was lying, you
I
could
don't
just bring that up in
know.
court. Like if you could prove he was lying, that helps your case. You would want him to lie as much as possible, so you could go along. Look at what he's been saying. Like this is the difference between the legal system and the public system. Like on Twitter, you lying helps you because people will believe you, but in the court, they actually can forget what they've just heard and know the truth. In theory.
And at least in this case, it is going to be a matter of public as well as legal opinion.
Mhm.
So hopefully whatever comes out from it is going to be somewhere in the truth section. And law tubers, I hope you cover this case.
They will.
wanna see-
100,
I think
obviously they will.
They will.
I mean,
Absolutely.
but I do think that the LawTube section is largely responsible for like the dissemination of Justin Depp's innocence. Like the recuperation of his career is largely because everybody could see what was going on. And like he acted one way, she acted another way. I was like, no.
All right, let's finish the super chats on this topic, and then we're gonna do a funny palate cleanser. Ed
gosh.
Song, thank you for the 5. When two people play pretend for a living, I believe no one till I see all the evidence. Even afterwards, I still won't bet on the winner.
Well, okay,
That's fair.
can I
but-
put there as well, who pretend for a living? You don't have to necessarily be good at acting in order to be in a movie or TV show. People who do that for stage plays, on the other hand, that's when I actually believe they're acting. Like British actors, because a lot of them have to do, well, back in the old days, stage work.
That's still more common here than over there.
Yeah. And so the talent pool, at least in British actors and actresses, are way more believable than the American ones, because there are ways to get around being bad at doing whatever it is in a movie or a TV show. So.
Yeah, but
That's a fair
I
point.
also think that people in general will believe women more than men. I especially in this kind of
Especially if
situation.
they're hot.
Yeah, that
Yes.
helps.
So, you know, at least he's lucky in that regard. But in general, they will be like, oh, no one would lie about this. Doesn't actually know they lie about this all the time. That's one of the things. So it's one of the reasons I'm against like the court of public opinion, because that's where everyone else's biases happen, and it's only when confronted with like the undeniable proof will they change their mind. They will want to believe her, but they can be overruled with facts eventually.
Okay, but eventually there has to be a lot of facts. One fact isn't enough sometimes.
You've seen it. You've seen the back and forth. You've
Yeah.
literally seen her release something, him release something, her release something, him release, and people's opinions have literally swayed day by day depending on who was the last person to speak. So, I don't think it's unreasonable to believe that like people are extremely fallible and extremely influenced. Everyone loves to think that you're the unique individual that can decipher truth from fiction. The simple fact is, we're nearly all of us are basic, evolutionarily driven, instinct driven people, and that can be manipulated by intelligent people, especially people like sociopaths and psychopaths. They evolved to take advantage of that kind of thing, and so we have these systems for a reason. And the court of public opinion stops that system working.
Fair point. It is crazy how that works, and that's why it used to be, you know, where it's a lot harder nowadays with social media, but they had to find people who didn't know anything about the case, right? Now that's very hard to find, especially in these bigger cases like Hollywood stuff, because it's everywhere. Like with the OJ trial, you know how hard that must have been to try and find people that didn't know who, like everyone knew who he was. That was one of the
This
biggest,
has always
biggest cases
happened.
ever, but
Before it would just be a village, and you'd have a town leader, and you'd both go to the town leader, you would make your peace, and then he would arbitrarily decide. So on the one hand, it's better because we have more information and we can send it out to more people. On the other hand, it's more negative because they can go to the other people before they go to the courts. This is why my perspective on all of it is just go to the court, and if you don't, I don't believe you. Go through the court and see what happens. Because you have to draw the line somewhere, and it's never going to be a perfect line, but you do the best you can.
Yeah, I agree. Jesus Davila, thank you for becoming a member or gifting membership. Sorry, thank you.
Saucy.
Gary Thomas, thank you for the 10. Justin brought a fan who was fighting cancer to the premiere. She had to go into the basement too. She died a month later. Also, Disparu is speaking of the tender years doctrine. Kids always go to mom. That's really sad. She had to go to the basement. Like, what? That is
it's that. Okay. Thinking about the words. It is what is the word? It's where you hate. Spiteful is what I mean. It's spiteful. It is spiteful to hate somebody so much that you will blame other people associated with them for whatever you don't like them for. Like, there is no reason she should be down there, except for the fact that you can't stand him so much. Anyone related to him gets cast with the same brush.
Yeah, it doesn't matter. Yeah, don't agree with that.
And yes, this is the thing. What I talk about is very well known, and it's very easily researched and very easily fact checked or disproven. It's why I'm always, when people like source, is that where you didn't spend 15 seconds checking it? Otherwise you'd come back and prove me wrong.
Prove me wrong.
Well, no, this is the whole point. I would gladly be proven wrong. If I'm wrong, tell me.
No, that's good. That's a good way to be, not just always arguing that like your point's the only point, and
Well, no, but
a lot of people are like that.
Like that.
He's like, I would like to be wrong sometime, but I'm not.
That isn't actually true. The person that I actually get correct me quite often, and I'm like, oh no, I didn't know this. Like, you knew more. Is Ryan? Ryan knows the in-depths of everything, and so you can be saying something. It's like, actually, no, there was this bit that you didn't know about over here that I knew about that came out 2 days ago. Like, oh, okay. It happened like yesterday on FNT. I said something, he corrected me. I'm like, oh no, actually, no, I misinterpreted this bit on the words. It's like, so it doesn't happen often. It does happen more often than most with Ryan.
Because he just spends more time on the internet than you, I suppose.
Ryan, like, it is amazing. You can bring up anything around Ryan, he will know something about it. And he will know probably quite a lot about it and be correct.
Is it fascinating for you?
Yeah. I like that kind of thing, though. Those people I like being around.
It's interesting. Yeah, to have good conversation. Ed Song, thank you for the 2. I was just there for the pooping bed jokes. Yeah. Well, there's a lot in the Amber Heard, according to Disproof, Justin Depp trial, not Johnny Depp. You said Justin.
I know what his name is. Like, to me, his name is less important than the situation. So I don't remember his name, but I could describe his situation to you.
Probably Mongoose.
You would be able to bring up his name, but I wouldn't. But I remember the interesting bits, and his name isn't interesting to me.
Ryan has more tabs to disprove, probably. Magna Norse for 5, we need a cocaine-fueled Ricada cast on this topic. My goodness. Marker Reality, thank you for the 10. LawTube was wonderful in the Rittenhouse trial. They protected everyone's Second Amendment rights far more than people realized, and the Depp Heard trial was pretty entertaining. Yeah, I mean, I didn't watch... Netflix released a documentary, and I checked out the beginning just because of something that Anna, that Star Wars girl, tweeted. I think she might have made a video on it as well. But they took clips of YouTubers talking about the trial, but didn't credit them. Like, her voice in the beginning, like the first 60 seconds of the documentary. It's like, that's Anna.
I think they messaged some of them and not others, so it's even doubly weird.
Yeah, they didn't message her. I don't think they did. Which it is very weird. Ed Song, thank you for the 5. I never needed evidence on Ezra Miller because he had thought +5 DMG modifier against a woman, and he was going to make sure it never went to waste.
There are videos of him. Videos I use in YouTube quite a lot. Nobody needed proof of him. They had it in video evidence. There's literally of a woman in front of him, and she's not doing anything. And he just goes, "Want to fight?" and throws her to the ground. I'm like, this is wild.
Ezra Miller X-ray.
Because I was like, I have no idea what y'all talking about.
Yeah. Like she's
Oh,
literally just standing there, and
damage.
he's going,
Oh.
like, wait.
Sorry, damage. Got it. Okay.
Yeah, obviously damage. Yeah.
Yeah, no, I should have said damage, but I said DMG instead because I don't know. Magnum Norris for 5. Since OJ was brought up, interesting fact is that James Cameron was going to cast him as a Terminator, but felt he didn't seem believable as a killer. Dang. Well, he was wrong.
Oopsies.
All right.
It is amazing that like Arnold Schwarzenegger is probably the perfect casting for the Terminator because he can't act even if he wanted to.
But it worked with the Terminator.
Well, yeah, because he's a robot.
Yeah.
Like another perfect casting would be Mark Zuckerberg. Like Mark Zuckerberg would have been an amazing Terminator if he lifted weights. Because that guy can't have an emotion on his face to save his life.
Except for when he sees Boombas. He's like,
Oh yeah.
Have you seen, oh yeah.
Oh,
I'm
dang.
not sure whether I posted all the AI videos. There's like 3 of them. There's one where he's like the original videos of him looking at it. There's another video of like her taking her top off, and then there's a third AI video of him just ramming his face into him.
See, men, despite even being a robot, are programmed the same.
Obvious. Like I say, everything is instinctual. You just think you're the hierarchical, far superior human being that can. No, you just rationalize it afterwards.
So here's our little palette cleanser. Our favorite sign maker is added again. That one LED sign guy on my For You page.
This is
Make sure it's
exactly
not muted, it's
how everybody in Paramount think women should look.
Yeah, it's true.
That's a woman?
No,
And
that's my
Hollywood
point.
standards, maybe.
Hello. Goodbye.
6 foot, money, Mexican, well mannered.
Anyways,
Today we're talking about something super cool called pronouns.
not interested, sir. Anyways,
I am my boyfriend's first black girlfriend.
if you're black, then I'm the real Donald Trump himself.
Oh, we've seen this
China,
one.
China.
Yeah, it's the one I couldn't
My
get
biggest
out.
secret is that I'm like 100% gay.
No way! You kidding, right? Wow, that's a surprise.
35 pounds that a man loses, he gains 1 inch in his.
What's up, homie? I'm Tony.
You're gay and you want to make a girl obsessed with you.
Not interested. Anyways,
This is you. You better lower your mother tone when you talking to me.
That's probably my.
Tony, if you want to order size for your
This
friend,
is my favorite one.
I
I just love his use of the arm too. Like, it just is so encompassing.
There we go. A silly little palette cleanse after all the Hollywood drama.
With this thing, and people on Twitter like repost compilations like, however hard you think you're working, you're not working as hard as the LED sign guy. And it's like just all his videos.
That Asian work ethic. And he's a troll too, which is like, I appreciate.
It's interesting because, yeah, it means he not just understands his culture, but he understands other people's
American.
culture so much that he understands the American counterculture. So he understands that this is abhorrent and that you think it's abhorrent enough to take the piss out of it. That is quite a few rays removed.
Someone said Perry Chan in the chat. Maybe it was his brother.
Can you imagine if Perry Chan was just like, actually, he was multiple famous people around the internet, and he was just like taking the piss out of all of them. It's like, I can take the piss out of the
Asian
entire
guy
world.
is Perry Chan, like I am every Asian actress.
Perry Chan is like the meme lord of Moriarty. Like his fingers are in every pie, every meme
Oh my
has
God.
his fingers in it.
That is a naughty Perry Chan.
He is like the evil overlord of memes.
Kevin Jenkins for 10 just finished Squid Game season 2 part 1. I'm about to watch a review of it, but any quick thoughts on it? Had great character development, but the finale was lacking. Cheers.
I'm curious what you thought the character development was, because essentially my opinion, if you watch my review, is the exact opposite of what you just said. I really liked the last episode. I thought the last episode was easily the best one because it finally did something original. And so it finally pushed forwards, and all the little things which I'd liked came to the forefront. Now, for people that don't watch it, I'm not going to give spoilers, right?
Yeah, don't worry.
So, giving kind of abstract concepts of what we're talking about that people will understand. At the very end, he is one of my favorite characters, kind of reveals himself. And that's what I find interesting, because that wasn't in the first season. In the first episode, you have the recruiter. I think he's probably my favorite character out the entire second series. Barely in it. And then you have everything in the middle, where I'm like, this is just season 1 with worse characters. You have the, at least 3 people that I can remember off the top of my head were in the special forces, which seems strange to begin with. You'd expect them to be better in society. But also, one of them in particular was definitely a Marisu. 100%. Especially in the finale. Where they humiliate one person only to lift another up. Because they want a Marisu. And so, I think, unlike the first season, I think the second one got next. I think, because Squid Game was essentially the #1 thing on Netflix, they didn't leave it alone. I think the first series was great because it was Korean, because it was entirely out of American politics, because it was a different culture, which has values more like what I would agree with. And then the second series came along, and like, we want this, and this, and he had to fit it in, and I think it ruined it.
Yeah.
So I'm kind of interested that you think the character development was great, because I can't even think of much.
I can't really either. I agree that I did like the finale. Don't worry, not giving anything away either. It definitely I personally don't think the second season is needed. They should have left it alone. It was original. It was its own thing. I mean, I guess
to interrupt quickly. I kind of disagree with that. I know when people are like, I don't feel like I need one. Like, yeah, but just because you don't need one doesn't mean it can't continue. It just means you need an idea for it, and this one felt forced.
Yeah.
It was churned out too quickly.
Yeah, it turned out too quickly. They could have done something. It was too quickly. If they would have taken their time to really try to do something original again, where it still was like maybe something different in the Squid Game universe, but not really another Squid Game per se. I don't know.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
No, I think you're right there.
Yeah.
And the thing that, at least for me, that I was talking about this earlier with before the show, is Squid Game was so remarkable at the time it came out because of the shock factor. You know, every episode you're like, holy crap, oh my God, what? And then you like, a lot of Asian cinema does this really well, where they make you like some of these characters a lot because of whatever traits that are brought forth. Like, I'm trying to remember, like the couple, and when you watch the Marbles episode and seeing what happened, people sacrificing, like very human, noble stuff that you could maybe relate to.
It's basic morality. Like, that's the thing. We don't have that in the West anymore.
Does that occur in season 2? I don't know, because I haven't watched it. I don't know if you can replicate that shock factor that they had in season 1.
It's not the shock
No,
factor.
you're right.
The games they're more complicated, which I think can work as the Devil's Plan. Devil's Plan gets a season 2 this year. Incredibly complex games.
I'm so excited for that.
Yeah, but it works in that show, which I feel like it would have a very niche audience. It doesn't work in Squid Game. The games are so complicated, I couldn't care about them. And I couldn't care about the characters. And the characterization is done really awfully. And when people are like, well, it's a season 2, I'm like, no, because I remember Alice in Borderland season 2, where the characterization was done so great, it would have 20 minutes. It would introduce like 20 people, and you care about all of them. And when they died, it mattered in 20 minutes with 20 people. And you cared about all of them and the backstory and everything else. It's just, it is a different level of talent because it's done with a different level of morality. And it's one that I don't think people in Hollywood can even comprehend at this point. And it's difficult talking about because most people haven't seen Alice in Borderland season 2, and I don't want to ruin it for people if they haven't.
It's so good.
Yeah, well, this is the point, and it's like, well, I know it's wrong to compare everything to my favorite series, but on the other hand, this is how you could be. And you could.
It's setting a barometer for cinema that is at a standard that you enjoy. Why can't we compare things?
Well,
we talk about like the perfect trilogies, like Lord of the Rings or Back to the Future. Why can't we do that? Like, it's okay to compare.
There's 20 minutes or longer, I've not timed it exactly, in season 2 of Alice in Borderland, where it's literally people picking numbers. And it's incredible. And it's just a load of people around a table picking numbers. That's all, like at random. But it's incredibly intense. There was a TV show, I can't even remember what it got. Is it Lex? I think it might be called Lex. It's a really like old sci-fi show. And there's a episode in that which is just a chess game. And they make that game really intense. And so I've seen these things on for incredibly cheap budgets. And then I see you do Squid Game for massive. I'm like, I don't care about any of these people. Why did they make you vote at the end of every game where there's just stay in and out? Why does it take so long? It doesn't matter. It doesn't change. It doesn't add anything to anything. It should have been cut. And it just feels like they have an arbitrary time. And there's no opportunity to trim the fat. Whereas I think one of the advantages of streaming should be, it doesn't matter whether your show is like 40 minutes or an hour. Make it the length that it should be, cut it to the exact length it should be, and leave. And it almost feels like streaming shows have filler in them. And I don't think it should.
When they should be to the point, because a lot of these streaming shows are binge shows. And when you have filler episodes...
Well, I think that's wrong as well. I'm on the weekly release.
Oh, me too.
Train.
So one of my favorite filler episodes is a Naruto episode. Not all the filler Naruto episodes are like this, but was of the team trying to find out Kakashi's face. So I thought it was like a very cheeky way to bring in personality, find out different traits about people. And not all filler has that. And I mean, I didn't watch Squid Game season 2, so I'm not commenting on that specifically, but filler can be for good reasons as well.
It can, yeah.
Now,
I don't know.
a challenge that I would give anyone: watch Alice in Borderland and just stop. And I mean that just like seriously. Maybe the first 3, give it the first 3 episodes, but after that, just stop. At the end of an episode, I challenge you, because every episode ends on a cliffhanger. You want to find out what happens, and it drives you through series 1 and then drives you through series 2. You have to know what happens next. It ends in the middle of a game. Like, well, I have to know who survives. And so you'll watch like the next 20 minutes of the next episode. Well, maybe I'll finish this one. And then it drives you to the next one. Like, this is basics of making TV. We've lost it. Sorry, Wicked. I interrupted you.
No, I was just gonna say that I agree with X-Rays that sometimes filler is good. I didn't think, I know she said that nothing about she was talking about Squid Games too. I don't think there was that much filler in that. They kind of got to the point of every episode. It's just I don't know. I really wish they would have just done something different with it and continued in the Squid Games universe. That's all.
It was Squid Game season 1.
Yeah. Exactly.
So it wasn't anything new or inventive. I think if they
well, this is why I'm like the final episode when he's like, I liked the final episode because it was original. All the rest is Squid Game season 1, whereas the final was something new that I hadn't seen before.
I would have loved. Okay, so if they did, like I said, didn't watch season 2. If they did like the Mecha Prime version of Squid Game was the American version. And then they had to take down that, and that would have taken down all the other rings of the Squid Games. That would have been interesting.
Yeah.
Something
different. Like just said, it really was just season 1 with some differences in it, but actually I didn't even have to watch it to know that it's like the stakes are kind of the same. So it's like,
yeah, I mean, the one of the reasons I like the finale isn't just the action. It's there's a character who is throughout the rest of the stuff, but he's interesting enough because he's deep. He's more deeper. He has more depth than the rest of the characters, and you're kind of working out what his rules are because he could do anything, but he chooses not to.
Yes, exactly. Yeah, no, I know exactly what you're talking about. You didn't know.
I realized that his rules are essentially Simon Says, and there's part of the finale where you're like, this, like the entire story hinges on a single character's decision, and he gives it over to him. And that guy makes that decision, and then it changes the rest of the episode. And that's what I found interesting. Like, it's these... The moments of the story where it could have gone either way, and one character, without knowing how big a decision that was that they've just made, it happens and it changes the rest of the series. Those are the kind of things that interest me. And so I know I've heard the criticism. I think it was Az or Morlo. It was one of them. It's like, well, the last episode was a lot of counting. Sorry. There was a lot of counting in the last episode, and I'm like, I get that, and I get why we wouldn't like that. Now, I am particularly susceptible to action in any. Like, if you do action, I'm there. Like, I love the John Wick movies just because it's action. So it's an easy appeal to me. But there was more depth to the final episode than I think it's given credit for. And that's not in the rest of the series. And I feel like, if you ever watch Person of Interest, that expands across series. Stargate expands across series. The complexity, the depth, and how it affects the universe expands across series. And I'm hoping that's what Severance goes for. That it reveals things over time and it gets deeper over time. But that's what a series needs to do. And this is just retreading the same small world that was in the first series.
Yeah. What's up, Rhino? I've never seen Stargate.
You make me feel like I've said something wrong with it. Yeah, I don't know what to say after that. You've spoken
I'm
for
so
too long.
sorry. I'm drunk.
I'm drunk. What do you think I was going to talk about? Oh, yeah, the grand depths of the universe need to expand
Sometimes you
over
do.
time.
Okay, you know what? When we're in Orlando and we are in Universal, we're looking at the sky and we're talking about like stuff like this.
No, this is the thing. I still remember there was a day. I would have been like 90, so it's like literally half my life ago.
Good die.
I literally spent the entire night talking to a guy about, because he was like some kind of I think he was doing a master's in philosophy at the time, and I spent the entire night talking to him about various different philosophical topics, and I was having the time of my fucking life. And someone else went, why are you disagreeing with him? He's doing a master's in it. I'm like, not what philosophy is. It's just about the conversation. And he was like, no, I'm really enjoying it because like we're talking about the stuff and it's like giving different perspectives on it. There is no right and wrong answer kind of thing. The more drunk I get, the more I get into that. So
the more drunk Disparu gets, the more British he gets.
It's not British. It's more like, actually, maybe we need to discuss the metaphysical properties of the universe. And when I'm sober, I'm like, I don't care. Yeah.
It's so funny because he gets that way with discussing the metaphysical aspects of
at
the
least
universe.
when I'm drunk, I can still say it.
You slur a little bit.
I don't know the metaphysical.
And I'm like, I want to go to Waffle House.
Yeah. Human Target. If people in chat have never seen Human Target, you should watch it. It's a great series. I know that's random, but I thought about it after Person of Interest. It is literally a show about some guy who becomes a bodyguard of other people, and his way of protecting them is, I will put you in danger so that they try and murder you, and when they try and murder you, I'll stop them. It's a great start of a series. And it has, there's a guy in it, and this is one of my favorite scenes of all time in a TV series, right? Because they're just in a cafe, and it's this little weedy bloke, and I've always liked the little weedy bloke that everybody's scared of. So you see them in prisons. You see them like Prison Break, there'll be a little weedy bloke, he's got big, like massive chads next to him, guarding him. And you're like, how on earth did he even get that? There's a scene in a cafe where these guys come and like, we're gonna kill you. And he's like, no, you're not. Because you're not even the boss. Your boss keeps all your information, Steve and blah, blah, blah. You live at this address, your family's at this address. He keeps that information on a hard drive. He thinks it's secure. It's not. And I am blah, and everybody is scared of this name. And he's like, by the way, I will take your beating. I will take whatever you're willing to give to me, because let's face it, there's no way you're going to kill me. And afterwards, I'm going to sneak into your house and I'm going to slit the throats of every person in your family. And they leave the place because they know what they're allowed to do. And I can't remember why I started on this. But those are the people I've always
starting.
Those are the people that I've always liked on those kind of things. It is the people that you don't expect, the storyline that you don't expect. It is the people that people shouldn't be afraid of that are.
And they throw you a curveball that you weren't ready
Oh
for.
no, he was in Human Target. I'm like, yeah, no, he's my favorite person in Human Target. Because he is literally this little weedy bloke, and next to him you've got this massive guy that any person would be petrified of. And they're petrified of the guy next to him more because he's willing to go further than the guy they're looking at. And I think there's something instinctual about that. That when you know there's a guy who has a line, you're not that afraid of him compared to the guy who you know has no line. Human Target is a great series. Everyone should watch it.
Okay. Is that on like Netflix?
I don't know. It's a quite old series, maybe in like early 2000s. I'm not sure.
Put it in the group chat because we're both gonna forget.
I want
Put it in the group chat.
A physical
January
library.
2010. Apparently,
Literally, I just want like movie series.
That's the Wikipedia.
Libraries all over. All the
A
things
wall
I
of
like.
them. Yeah.
All of them.
All the things. Go ahead.
No, I was going to say it's on Amazon Prime, but apparently you can just buy it on there. Not.
Don't you love
streaming.
how they do?
Is it on Apple?
How they sell stuff? Like they'll be like, you can rent this for
Or you can buy it for
$20
another
or you-
$5.
Yeah, you can buy
Apparently
it
it's
for
on
$22 or
Apple.
rent it
Like-
for $20. Like, okay.
I usually buy it then.
Well, yeah, it's like watch on Apple.
Yeah.
But no, it's like if you liked. I don't know if anyone's seen Person of Interest, but the start of Person of Interest is like kind of Criminal of the Week. We stop them. Human Target's a bit the same. It's like, well, this is the person we protect this week. I just thought there's something interesting about we will guard you by putting you in danger and knowing that we're competent enough to protect you from anything. So when they come for you, like we don't know who's trying to kill you, but the moment they try and kill you, we'll find them. There's something about this, about human competence, about taking risks that we don't have in modern entertainment. And I think it's literally just like the outcome of masculinity. It is when you go from like being safe and caring about your emotions and caring about society and caring about like social influence and being together with everyone else compared to just taking chances. There's something more gripping about that. And the more I think about it, the more I think that that's like the key to getting back entertainment. So I like shows like this.
Sorry, I was playing with my pen.
What was it
This
called
is the
again?
thing.
I need to remind myself
I'm trying to talk
search
to
for
chat,
this.
and like instead I've got
What
Wicked
was the
playing with
show
a
called
pen.
again? I need to
Human Target.
find it. Human Target. Thank you.
I pulled up the Wikipedia. You put it in the private chat. I got it.
I
I'm
can
sorry.
Put it on my wish list.
attention, okay?
I can probably just.
Oh, I see it on Amazon, and then hopefully someone. This will remind me to buy this. I'm going to put it on my throne list, and then go from there.
Are you okay?
I made Disprue speechless.
No.
Sorry, I was playing with my pen. That'll never happen again. Just kidding. I love my pen.
Just say it, Disprue. What were you going to say?
God.
Cunt. Why? Is it bad? Were you gonna say a gamer
What
word?
were you going to say?
No.
What? I'm so confused. All right.
You don't need to understand. You only need to learn.
Okay.
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 Ed Song, thank you for the 5. Season 2 had too many side stories. The detective and the Oregon harvesting line. Oh, that was still from line or season 1 as well. Again, but yeah, they brought that up again. The detective kind of became goofy as it goes.
Now, and I think I put this in my recent review of Section 31, is that people seem to think that this, like, a second part of a crap thing could fix the first half of a crap thing. Now, Season 2 of Squid Game isn't crap, it's mid. But if the first half is mid, the second half is going to be mid. It's not going to fix anything. You're not going to get some magical answers that made the first half great. And there's loads of just dead ends in Season 1 that go
Yeah.
ruins the series.
Marker Reality, thank you for the 2. Yes, it's
Lex.
true. It's Lex.
Yeah, it's a chess game. And I've always remembered, like, Lex is one of those really budget UK series that is just really good. But it's specifically the chess game episode proved. It's incredibly entertaining. Nothing's happening. The entire series, the entire episode. It's just a chess game. Alice in Borderland has that, but with numbers. And it's really interesting.
I promise I'm gonna watch that soon. This month coming up is gonna be busy, but I'll get there.
Like,
I want to watch it.
Everyone says that about Alice in Borderland. It's my favorite one, and it's like, oh.
As soon as I won't shut up about it once I start. Okay, we'll have big conversations about it. Jason Webster, thank you for the Australian.
I don't know what I was meant.
I'm really enjoying the K-dramas. The Queen Who Crowns on Vicky and the Trauma Code Heroes. The Trauma Code Heroes on Call on Netflix. I recommend both series.
I've not even heard of it.
I've not heard of that. Jason also knows a lot of really obscure TV shows. I say obscure, but obscure to America.
Yeah.
My issue is I only watch dub stuff because I get bored reading. I get bored reading a television show. It's not enough for me.
And I have to be in the mood to watch dubbed or subbed. Like, I can't just watch Asian cinema if I'm not ready to read.
But I've noted both those down. If there's a dub, I'll watch them. If there isn't, I'm not going to.
Can't make me. You can't make
No,
them.
I can't read television. If I want to read it, I'll read a book.
I'm not a fan of.
There's a minimum amount of information I require to be happening at a time. My brain switches off, and that's the best way I can describe it.
Yeah.
And I would be okay with the TV series at 2 times speed, but I can't read at 2 times speed. So I end up being like below the level that I can be at.
Yeah.
That's why I like audiobooks. It's a very efficient way to watch. Well, okay, so I've been going through the Lord of the Rings BBC series where they do the voice acting. I think it's BBC. I'm not sure.
No,
Anyways.
I know. I just
whatever. And it's so good. And like, because the audiobook for the actual full book of the first one, I think it's like 20 hours, whereas the audio version voice acted is like 4 to 5-ish hours. So it just even seeing the differences between the book to the movie, there are some really good choices that they made and some other choices that I wish they made to just give more context to other things. So yes, I love Audible.
Me too. Shane Muniz, thank you for the 5. Wicked's graceful shoulders. It's not a saucy Saturday without some shoulder skin. I don't think Disbrew is pulling his weight in that regard.
Yeah, Disbrew, show your shoulders.
He'll have to go get milk or something. Chris Nicholson, thank you for the 20. Justifying a bad part 1 by saying it'll be fixed in part 2 is like lighting your house on fire as you're building it, and then reassuring people by saying you eventually plan on putting a fire extinguisher on the 2nd floor.
Interesting.
It's interesting. Yeah, we should save that one for Disbrew. I'm sure he would have something to add to it. But yeah, I mean, I've never been there's been shows, I can't think of the names of them right now, where people say, well, get through season 1 and you'll like season 2. And I'm like, got time for that. If I don't like season 1, I don't think I'm gonna watch season 2.
I would be okay with like saying you need to get through the first like 2 to 3 episodes in order to get into it. Like, okay, maybe.
Yeah, but with Squid Games, like I agree with Disbrew. I didn't think the part 1 of season 2 was mid. It wasn't awful, but I'm still stand with, if they weren't going to do something different, they should have just left it alone and left it at 1 season. That's how I feel about it. And I didn't think, like, I mean, I know when season 1 first came out, I was late to watching it. I just watched that. I watched season 1 and then
recently,
season 2.
Right?
Yeah, recently. So I was late with it. But I understand that it was very like groundbreaking for the time. It came out during like the
COVID.
Yeah. So
it was after Tiger King. And
I watched Tiger King.
Yeah, you're bored at home. You find out, oh my God, this is an amazing show, blah, blah, blah. And most people do not watch foreign cinema. And
no.
So to get a huge American audience is a feat in it of itself.
Yeah.
But that's what
I agree.
Squid Game was. It broke through barriers that people had never broken through before, and then they never kind of continued along that path.
But it just had to be something different, something groundbreaking, something just so, as I have been saying earlier, shocking that it's so different to what you've seen.
I also think there's a social element to it, though. It's like everybody was watching Squid Game, so everybody watched Squid Game. It was
COVID.
Yes, and that has definitely been broken now to the point where there isn't like I think Gary talks about it like water cooler shows. So like you had what's it called? Game of Thrones and stuff. They were water cooler shows. Everyone watched them, and people watched them so that they could communicate with other people about what was happening in like pop culture. You don't get that anymore because so many people are watching so many shows that there is no universal show that everyone watches anymore.
No, that's very true.
The further you go out from that, from like a language perspective, the less people you can. And you see that with anime. There can be incredibly popular anime, and this is like if you mention anime, you suddenly get like loads of recommendations in the feed. And it's because they're like desperate to share what they've discovered with other people because they found this amazing thing that they can't communicate to anyone about because people don't watch the stuff. And so finding out someone is interested in it is suddenly like, oh, you've just broken into a new world that you can now share this kind of new area of entertainment with. The language barrier is massive. It's way more significant than I think it's credit for.
Who was in
Even
Squid
with
Game
translation.
and Acolyte? Which one was that? Because I only watched one episode of Acolyte, so I don't.
Which Sol was the main character.
In Acolyte?
Well, in both. Sol is the main guy in Squid Game season 1.
He
and
was
2.
an Acolyte. I didn't know he was an
Yes.
Acolyte. That's what I mean. Okay.
He's the Jedi, and at one point he's like, I feel so much emotion, connection to her. I'm like, well, she's meant to be like 14 or whatever. This is quite weird. I'm like, it's weird that you feel a connection to this child, Sol.
Oh, that was him.
I feel a connection.
Yeah, Osha. Yeah, he couldn't speak English until he took on that role, and it showed.
Oh, okay. I didn't even.
Yeah, it's the main character in
notice
Squid
that.
Game.
Okay. If I would have watched more of Acolyte, I probably would have got that. But
I'm
I
so
totally
glad you only watched one episode.
I watched the
I'm not
finale
sure
and I
you
was like,
would.
this was supposed to be
Like
really
in Squid
is he that
Game, you see
different
him.
in it that it's hard to really tell.
Yes, in Squid Game, you see him be an actor. He shows like the entire range of emotion, and he shows his talent. In Acolyte, he's like, Osha, I feel a connection to you, Osha.
But the worst part is he showed more range than a lot of the actors and actresses in the show who are native speaking English people.
Yes, he was the best thing about the Acolyte. Yes, and I think a lot of people said this about season 2. It's like when you watch season 2, you're like, why was none of this in the Acolyte? Like, we can tell your talent, and it does go to show how much the creation of an entertainment series reflects on the actors. That you can have an incredibly talented actor. You put him in the wrong thing, he looks like he's crap. Because he did in The Acolyte. You wouldn't have praised him at all. But then when he goes back to Squid Game, you're like, oh, this is what you can do. This is quite impressive.
Okay. Yeah. Definitely better in Squid Games. I don't know because I thought the Acolyte.
It always feels like an insult when you get back to Wicked and she's like, yeah.
Sure. Oh.
Yeah, okay.
Oh.
No, it's not. I agree. I mean, I can't say much because I didn't watch the Acolyte, but I think he did a good
Sure
job.
thing,
in Squid
Disbrew.
Game.
Whatever you say.
Are we,
It's
still,
like-
are we still doing the mute thing? $10 to mute me or Disbrew?
No, like mute us both or mute us none. Come on.
Yeah, okay, fine. $10 to mute.
$10 for this to be a Wicked stream.
Yeah.
Yes.
Duppy, thank you for the 5. Disbrew, could you imagine getting through, much less understanding, Dark if they hadn't dubbed it to English? I needed a notebook for that show. Imagine if I muted him now.
I'm not joking. I watched recaps explaining the series as I was going through Dark. And I still think I've gone through all of Dark. I think I'm like halfway through season 3, which I think is last season. But every time I went through a season, I watched a recap of that season to understand what the hell was going on. And I have to say, I'm not as into At least wait till I'm finished with the dark, then do it.
Go ahead.
I don't think dark is as impressive as other people think it is. I think it's literally because it's told out of order, it appears more intelligent than it actually is. I don't think it's as complex. I don't think the characters are as detailed. I think if you told it from front to back, you'd probably like, this is crap. And now she can win.
No, she already won because you went on for like a couple sentences there. You didn't know.
Wait, you muted me mid-dark?
I'm sorry. What? I'm saying I'm sorry. I didn't do it.
Well, I don't. You at least got to mute X-ray as well. But are you saying you muted me mid-dark? Like
so.
explanation?
No, it's okay. You noticed it and then you went back and said what you were saying. Don't worry.
No, because I'm like the dark. Unironically, the dark explanation is literally one of the most complicated things you could possibly explain. That is the one time you don't mute anybody.
Don't you dare mute me when I'm talking about anime.
No, it's not. No, it's not that you dare. It's that for the person that super chatted to understand, you can't mute people during a dark explanation.
I get it. They understood though, because
okay, so mute X-ray first then.
Oh no, I can't hear her. What is she saying? Her mouth is moving. There. Yeah, Justin.
Mute me, please. Just mute me right now because I'm.
Did you mute Disparu? I didn't do that.
No, I muted me because you're not muting me. You were supposed to mute us both, and then it.
There you go.
I don't know what's happening.
If you're gonna mute me, mute X-ray girl. I shouldn't be muted and hear her talk.
There you go, guys. It's so quiet without them. My goodness. He doesn't. I don't think he even knows right now.
Wait, what?
I'm literally.
Were you over there messing up a storm?
I'm literally like, thank. It's like finally she learned how to mute properly.
Okay, I think we should just both kick Disparu and I off the story.
The entire point of this is so that Wicked gets a chance to speak.
Oh yeah,
I did.
What are you gonna say?
I said a lot. The chat knows. They heard it. Disparu was too busy.
Okay, X-ray, we're not going to talk for the next 3 minutes. This is a Wicked stream.
Okay. Well, you guys will probably like this one. Patriotic, thank you for the 5. Sharing my current favorite rom-com anime, The Dangers in My Heart. That sounds like a game X-ray girl would play. But she's just there you go, he's mute. He can't say anything. I'm sure they'll add it to their list. Jadine, thank you for the $19.99. Hey, Disparu, what if you have cat scratch fever Ted Nugent style? You're not muted anymore. You're not.
Oh, like, who the is Ted Nugent? I don't even know who Ted Nugent is.
He's a singer.
Wait, is that a chocolate?
Is he?
Nugent? Nugent?
Yeah, Ted.
Nougat.
I know Nugget. I don't know Nugent. I generally like. What is Ted Nugent style?
What an idea, Mongoose.
I don't know what Ted Nugent style is.
He sings a song that's a cat scratch fever,
I don't
but you're
know
not
what
gonna
cat
know
scratch
it.
is.
Cat scratch fever is like when you get scratched by a cat and you're
It sounds like you've been infected by something.
By a cat.
And you're like, oh my god, I'm so itchy.
Cat scratch fever is a song.
I went to like
Guys, they're not
California and they're just
gonna know it.
infected by.
John Golden wants you to look him up.
It's like you spend a weekend in Portland and you're like, I come back with so many diseases you wouldn't imagine.
You actually should look him up, Disparu. Look up Ted Nugent.
I mean, I've Googled him. I could see him. But to be honest, he just looks like Crocodile Dundee.
He does.
That's my only reference. It's like, that's not a knife. This is a knife. And like, that's not a knife. That's a spoon.
Are you talking about Brits?
What?
Do
you think Crocodile Dundee is English?
Well, the way you talked, it sounded English.
But because I'm English. Oh, surprisingly, I don't have an amazing Australian accent. I don't know.
I'm surprised.
Apparently, the
That was
Australian
actually
accent is a
that was an English person doing an Australian reference for an American TV show. I was doing cross-cultural representation.
Where is Canada in all of this? God damn it!
Nobody gives a crap about Canada. The only thing you've contributed to the world is MILF Manor season 2. And you're like, oh yeah, what are we gonna do? We set MILF Manor in Canada. What are they gonna do? Oh yeah, we literally first episode. they're gonna lick syrup off each other. Canadian maple syrup. That's the only thing you
know what,
guys
that
have
is
contributed to the
Canadian.
world, and you licked it
Dating?
off a woman.
That is a dating thing that we Canadians do. We have to lick maple syrup off of each other to know that we like each
and
other.
spit it in a bucket. I was like,
Fuck to.
yeah, nobody wants to spit it anywhere. Like, swallow it or nothing. To be fair, in the first episode, everyone else tried to put it in the bucket, and there was one woman, like one 50-year-old woman. She's like, "Nah, I'm making the most of this. This might be my only opportunity." And she went to town on this bloke, didn't spit any of it. She's like, "No, I'm keeping this
Oh,
for
she
me."
swallower.
Oh yes,
Throat goat.
like you could hear the gulping from the camera on the other side of the room.
Oh my god, it's like me when I just drink normally.
Yeah, yes. Thank you, X-Ray, for keeping up with the joke there. That was amazing.
Good job.
I'm
He's so
ahead of
proud.
At some point, I need to do a review of the rest of season 2. It's always on the list. If ever there's a time where I don't have a video, I'm reviewing Canada.
He's gonna review Canada.
Yeah, I'm gonna be like, this is a place no one should live. But
Don't ever go there. But they have good maple
they
syrup.
do have a lot of mums.
Oh my gosh. Okay. What do you
We
guys
shoved
have
him in the
going
manor.
going on this week? Are you doing your
Jesus, up in 3 hours?
Yeah.
That
Are you
went
doing your
by so quick.
I
your
did.
fun day tomorrow, X-Ray? Are you doing
Yes.
Sunday fun day?
So in the morning, I am going to be doing. Okay, so I went to Hobby Lobby, which is my first time ever being there. For you
I love
Americans that know Hobby
Hobby
Lobby, I bought a Care Bear Hello Kitty, which is obviously my background now. But I also bought a Hello Kitty building block set. I also have a crochet banana, and I have a crochet lion, and a Hello Kitty diamond set that I might build tomorrow. I just have to figure out what I want to do first. But that's in the morning. And then Sunday Funday, we're playing Helldivers. It is going to be so fun. And then 10 in the evening, Nerdrotic Live on Forbidden Frontier. We're going to be talking about the MLK released documents that
Ooh.
Trump dropped. And it is salacious, to say the least.
I'm surprised people didn't know that about him. That's what I
mean,
thought.
I didn't really research him, so I didn't know. But
I was amazed. Like, I saw the surprise when people were like,
I haven't read it
he's
yet.
this, and I'm like, yeah, did you not know? Did you think he was a good guy for all of these years? It's like when people go I forgot his name. That's how much he means to me. There's another guy that everyone thinks is that's so amazing. I'm like, what was history? I would know if I was sober. I don't know when I'm like this.
Write it down when you remember, and we'll talk about it on the next.
Let's put it in the group chat
I know.
to remember later.
No, I
Yeah.
know there's an N in his name. That's all I know.
Yeah.
Gandhi?
Nelson Mandela. Someone said it in the chat. Is
You
that
should
it?
look up his history.
Oh, like that's it?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Interesting.
Reset the cripple for 5. Wicked the song Cat Scratch Fever is not about the disease. It's more about more of a euphemism. Yeah, no, I know that. I was trying to explain to disprove what that it actually was. The song is
I
not
didn't
about
know.
that. Like what the actual what Cat Scratch Fever is supposed to be.
I mean, it sounds like something where you'd be doing something with someone and then you get a rash.
You could.
That's called gonorrhea.
Well, presumably many others.
And you just
I don't
shot the
actually
video.
know all of them. Like
you.
God, that was going to sound bad. I stopped myself.
You caught yourself.
Yeah, because I'm like, well, no, she's in medicine, so she'll. And I was like, well, not like you'd know. And I meant like because you're in medicine. That was going to sound awful.
I am not down in people's hoo-has and ding-dongs.
No, but
too much.
as someone who works in a hospital, I imagine you hear stories of other people in hospitals, which are probably
Yeah.
like
Sure.
Jimmy Carr is a stand-up comedian, and he says whenever he meets a doctor, the one question he asks people is, "What's the strangest thing you've ever pulled out of an ass?"
Oh,
And-
strangest thing I've ever x-rayed then at that rate. I'm extrapolating that.
Like this is the thing. They all have a story. Every person, they all have a story.
There's lots. But the strangest?
Yeah.
A beer bottle? How do you
Oh.
fit that up there? I don't know.
the NHS publishes reports, and one of them was there was a milk bottle shoved up there, and they said they were walking down the stairs and they slipped, and they fell on it, and that's how it went up there. And
Who walks around naked so that could happen?
Oh, it's worse. It's so much worse. The medical report said this story would be more believable if Tesco sold their bottles with condoms already on. And the worst thing about that is, if you're going to have a bottle that you shove up there, at least have a specific bottle. Like, the reason why you'd put one on it is because you're like, well, you know, I might want to reuse this for something else. I might want to keep the milk in it. Like, no! At least have specific bottles, and then ones that you don't, like, and separate them.
It's like when guys cheat and they say, oh, I just fell on her. I hear this more from dudes anyways, not the girl.
No,
and
you
huh?
hear it more from dudes. The dudes...
Well, that's what I said. This is what I hear from dudes. Yeah, like, you're like...
It was an accident, yeah. Like, how does that end?
fall on someone with both of your pants off at the same time.
Look, I mean,
And
maybe if it's
repeatedly
section...
fall.
If it's a Section 31 movie, maybe that would happen, you know? He happens to wear, like, a weird phasing program, and he just falls over on someone and it breaks. Fair enough. You know, it could happen. In real life... And the strangest thing for that, and this has always been the strangest thing, is when people are like, no, it's an accident. I'm like, how long for? It's quite a long time that the entire act takes. So, like, when did you realize this was a mistake? Like, at what point? And you were like, well, you know, I've started, so I might as well finish. And does that make it worse or better? Is it like, oh no, it's accident the entire way through, and just as it just at the end, I was like, I probably shouldn't have done that. Or were you like halfway through and like, well, you know, I'm already in trouble. Like, where is your philosophical line?
This is a conversation for when we're sober, I think.
Yes, and not on the internet.
Yes, probably.
Exactly.
But this is the
we have
kind of
plenty of
thing where
time
I'm
in
like, well, you
Orlando.
know, all the people discuss the philosophical meaning of life, and I'm like, where's that line? That's what I want to know.
This one's for you, Disparu, if you want to read it, from Mitchell Fields. Thank you for the 5.
As long as we're talking about ass, I feel like I've been drawn into this chat like by false pretense. When were we talking about this in the first place? It's like, well, while we're here, I'm like, were we ever here?
Probably.
Disparu, have you ever seen a booty
Can't get through it.
Have you ever seen a booty shake so thick? Now, firstly, the greatest invention that modernity has ever released, the greatest invention that feminism has ever given to humanity, is the idea that a man can call a woman thick and she thinks it's a compliment.
Well, it depends. Is it a CK or 2 Cs?
No, it doesn't depend.
Depends.
The greatest invention feminism has ever given to a man is that he can call you thick and you think it's a compliment. So
Thick is
have you
only
ever
a
seen a booty
compliment to
shake
do.
so thick you needed a bigger straw? No, because I'm a child of the 90s. And if you watch Coupling, you will understand my feeling about fat arseholes.
He doesn't like big booties.
No, because I like Coupling. There's literally a character in Coupling whose entire character is being like, my arse feels like it's snacking when I'm asleep.
Wow.
This is something that culture imposed upon men. It is not a natural phenomenon. And it is literally something... It is the single reason why I don't actually believe that people even make their own decisions with regard to this. I think a large part of it is cultural because I've seen it happen.
Jadine for $9.99. Disparu, I can't put the lyrics for Cat Scratch Fever by Ted Nugent in the chat, so look it up. Look it up later.
I'm not surprised when you try to put the entire lyrics of a song in the chat and you just went no.
Or some of them maybe.
You have
I
like
don't know.
160 characters.
Oh my gosh, Maza Quaid. 499 it fits. Randy Quaid. Me and my wife Razor Fist are about to show Rupert Murdoch and the leftists who's really in charge.
Oh my god.
My goodness, a new Maza has emerged right near the end.
He's evolving. And he's making friends.
So, Disparu, you just dropped a video today, so you probably won't have one coming out tomorrow. Do you have another review coming out, like for Section 31 or?
Well,
Squid
yeah,
Game?
and there's no way I'm getting Section 31 review done in a day.
Yeah.
So you have the Rotten Tomatoes reviews combined with mine. Any scene by scene thing would take a lot longer than a day to actually make, because it's an hour and a half.
Yeah.
So
it'll take a bit. Yeah.
and it's so compact. Like, at least Rings of Power, the reason why I could get that done in a day is because you can skip massive scenes. This scene is like rapid fire trash. So it's like, I don't even know I can skip that.
Okay. Well, look out for some more Disparu videos. And I'm actually going to be, my Sunday stream isn't happening tomorrow, so we're doing it now, 10:30. So I'm going to play for a little bit until about midnight. It's going to be a long night for me. When we end the stream, though, I'm going to send you guys over. We're playing Demonologists. We actually haven't played that one in a while.
I love that game.
It's good for late night, too. And I haven't, usually Capable Gentleman Lee, he only plays on Sundays when we do our Sunday stream, but there's been the playoffs and stuff, and we've just been too busy to play. So I told him I'd play tonight. I'm going to be tired, but I got it. I'm going to turn the lights down. That's the good thing about a spooky game. So
I saw he has like a Rippaverse section. Like they have the what is not the broadcast, something like that.
Oh,
like,
he's not on that. The Bro Science I don't think
thought
he's
he
gonna
was.
No, he's not a part of it. He was a guest once.
Oh,
I think the
maybe
Bro
that's what I'm
Science
thinking
panel
of.
is just gonna be Beardo and X-Wing.
Or maybe I thought he deserved to be honest. Maybe that's what I'm thinking of.
Oh, maybe he was a guest on it though. But I'm actually gonna send you guys if you wanna do us a favor and subscribe to our friend, me and X-Ray Love Lee. He's a good friend of ours, and this is his gaming channel that he's recently started, and we're trying to help him build it up a bit. So when this ends, I'm gonna send you guys over there, but I'll also be live at 10:30 for just a couple hours of some Demonologist late night gaming. And then during the week I'll be live again playing games. But in a couple weeks we'll all be together in Orlando. It's gonna be fun.
I'm so freaking excited. Which, by the way, I think the Saturday of Saucy Saturdays, it's going to be at a different time. We'll announce it next week.
Yeah, we'll let you guys know the time, but it's going to be a crazy because of the MegaCon and then there's a meetup and stuff. So we got to change the time a bit, but we will definitely give you guys a nice heads up. Yeah.
Yes. I mean, the warning really should have been today. But, hello.
Well, it's when we know. We'll let them know. Like we said,
I don't actually think it should be as crazy as is made out.
No, it's not. It's just not going to be the same time because the meetup
will be earlier.
Yeah. So we'll let you guys know. Kara bought you seltzer. That's what a good.
I'm
wife.
drunk. Kara made me drunk. I blame
All right. Well,
yes. We should always blame Kara. Always blame someone who's not on the stream. That's the key.
Well, we're gonna go, guys. We will see you next week. Thanks for hanging out.
Bye.